what I want from you.
I shall never
let them buy their wedding.
I shall never let
Nobody did answer blue.
what my plan.
Good girls, don't let us.
What my plan.
Good girl, mighty lots of.
What my plan.
Good girl,
Let them buy their wedding.
What my plan.
good girl,
Nobody did answer blue.
What my plan.
good girl. Come into all, don't let us.
What my plan.
Good girl, mighty lots of.
What my plan.
Good girl,
Let them buy their wedding.
What my plan.
good girl.
Nobody did answer blue. Did answer blue. Did answer blue.
I shall never every day desire.
I do,
I shall never every day.
mighty lots of.
I shall never.
Let them buy their wedding.
I shall never.
Nobody did answer blue.
I shall never let.
Can twist the heart,
I shall never let stay.
mighty lots of.
I shall never let.
Let them buy them wedding.
I shall never.
Nobody did answer blue.
What my plan.
Good girls, don't let us.
What my plan.
Good girl, mighty lots of.
What my plan.
Good girl,
Let them buy their wedding.
What my plan.
good girl,
Nobody did answer blue.
What my plan.
good girl. Come into all, don't let us.
What my plan.
Good girl, mighty lots of.
What my plan.
Good girl,
Let them buy their wedding.
What my plan.
good girl.
Nobody did answer blue.
Breathing out, breathing in. Breathing out, breathing in. Conquer it. Breathing out, breathing in. Breathing out, breathing in.
Well, hello everyone, and welcome to welcome to another.
Who makes this?
Oh, that's that actually the artist's name is Pogo, which is the one you saw on the sweater. He makes them and a bunch of other ones. And so there's a link down like in the description below. You can click on it, and his all his stuff is on YouTube, obviously. But yeah, I use this stuff because I enjoy it, and he doesn't give out any copyright strikes, so that's a plus there. But
That's good stuff.
oh yeah, oh he
You need
has.
to invite him on the show. Do you invite him on the show?
It might be an impossibility because one, he's from Australia. Two, he hasn't been on social media in of quite some time. And three, I don't know if he even responds to anything on social media anymore either. So yeah, that's one of those things. He at a certain point at his time, he kind of got disenfranchised by social media. And so he just kind of slowly kind of weaned off and no one's heard from him over like 2 years. So yeah.
I can sort of relate to kind of that, isn't it?
Yeah, and part of it was he said something that a lot of people didn't agree with, and or made some people upset, and they just dogpiled on him. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this anymore, and so he kind of just slowly went out of existence. His music is, I mean, he does sampling music, which is what you saw there, but I mean, he's a magician with it. So it's kind of sad, but again, I enjoy his stuff and I use it because it not get copyright, but why not?
Why
But
not?
yeah, why not? But anyway, hello everyone. My name is Daramouthe, or Dara for short. Some people say Daramouthe, and I still don't know why. But hey, we all went to kindergarten at least once in our lives.
Yeah, it kind of reads like that. Daramouthe.
Yeah,
I just say Dara.
yeah, that works. I will take that over anything else. I'll take Dara. If people want to say the full, just say Dara. It'll be fine. And of course, this is on the Darachat with the one and only Bishop's opening, or Bishop.
Bishop,
Bishop's,
yeah.
yeah, Bishop's opening sounds like a religious pub at a certain point.
It's not like people like to make the joke about the religion and stuff, but it is actually a chess move, right?
Really?
So
Oh, Bishop. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
the bishop's opening. So the way he came to be, right, was my initial. I don't know why I was giving the nickname Bishop, but in Portuguese, Bispo. It's Bispo.
Mhm.
And when I was playing, so some of my old friends will call me Church. This is because we were playing Warcraft, and
Oh,
my English was far from well, I'm not saying that it's like too fluent now, but it was far
yeah,
from fluent.
right.
And I was playing a priest, and
Mm.
someone said like healing priest, and I wanted to say come to bishop or come to the priest, and I said come to church, and then it became, and then everyone just go to church, go to
Uh,
church for healing. So for
yeah.
a long time I just couldn't shake it. So I got to a point where I just said like, okay, fine, it's church. And
Yeah.
then eventually they forgot about it.
Oh
But
no.
I think that there's like a few people that if you ever pops up, like they're going to be saying like they'll be calling me church.
Yeah.
Now, Leonard is saying there in the chat, is saying all hail bishops or
Yeah.
bish. So
Oh yeah.
this I think is just a short now.
Yeah. I have
But
bitch. At that point, I think he's trying to say something not so nice, but then again, I understand it. So
yeah, no, all hail bish. It's well, they just say bish.
yeah,
So Bishop's opening. I named that the channel because do you know anything about chess? I don't know much
a
about chess.
little,
Do you know
a,
a little bit?
a little, but I don't know. Like, I know there's checkmate and there's check, but that's pretty much
Okay.
it.
So the Bishop's opening, it's an opening that it used to be called the truth,
Oh, really?
right? And the
Uh,
truth, it's not because it's I don't know, the truth. The truth is because it was truthful
uh,
to the basic principles of chess, which is
mm,
just positioning, set up the board,
mm,
and it's not necessarily with setups and traps
yeah,
or counter moves or something.
uh,
So it's basically like you set up the board, which is you develop your pieces, you
mm,
break one rule, which is knights before bishops,
mm,
right? So because you actually move your pawn and then your bishop, and you
right.
just get control of the center of the board.
Okay.
And it's a strategy that I usually use on cards. Have you ever played Magic the Gathering?
Oh no, never.
Okay, so Magic the Gathering, it's a card game.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, you use your resources, and then the idea is that you deplete like the opponent's life points. And
Okay.
I cannot memorize cards. You play with a
Yeah.
card deck, and I
Mm,
cannot memorize like probabilities or how many
mm,
cards or the
mm.
moves. So I tend to play with basic strategies. There's a
Right.
strategy called aggro, where
Aggro. Okay.
yeah, and then in aggro you just put pressure on the opponent,
Mm,
and depending on how the opponent responds,
yeah.
you counter respond to that, right?
Yeah.
So you
Mm,
just apply pressure,
mm,
the opponent responds, and then you
mm.
just play on to that. So that's
Okay.
the way, that's what Bishop's opening kind of is. If
Mm,
someone knows about chess, he was like going to be like, well, actually, but the idea is that you develop the board, right?
yeah.
You see what the response is from the
Mm,
opponent,
yeah.
and then you play onto that, right? So you don't
Yeah.
have to remember tricks and traps and
Yeah.
everything. So that's why I named it Bishop's. I thought it was clever, but
Yeah.
everyone just keeps making it's like this is some sort of like church kind of
Yeah.
joke, and I was just
Yeah.
like, yeah, I might need to change that. I'll change it at some stage.
Well, yeah, that makes sense too. Yeah, I've played chess sometimes in the past, but you're not gonna find me being an expert at it. So unfortunately, that's a lost cause.
Oh, like I'm terrible at it.
Yeah, I've played it. There you can go online. There's like a website online where you can play it with like people across the way and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So I've played that at least once or twice in my life, but it's not been something I've played on the regular. Of course, you have games like places like Steam or Epic Games or whatever. You can buy games on also. My Steam library is like over 200 games, so I know.
yeah. Mine is about 200, 250. I only play like 2 or 3 games.
Yeah.
But
Oh.
yeah, I never played much chess. I studied it.
Uh,
So I studied chess because we were studying strategy at the time,
yeah.
but that was the only thing. Like I'm really bad at just playing chess actually. So I just thought the name was clever, but
Uh,
then I didn't think about it. People just twist everything.
yeah. Yeah. Well, obviously, Bishop. Church. Yeah, this stuff happens. Okay.
Shit
Um.
happens.
Yeah, but at least you weren't like picking up your pieces and throwing them at your opponent. That'd have been a different story.
That'll be different. Actually, I never do that. Like I rarely get like irritated when it
Mm,
comes to games and stuff. Oh, look
mm,
at the people at the chat. Little Miss Anonymous,
uh,
Leonard.
yeah. Oh,
Hi.
yeah. All those
I'm just
people
saying
right there.
I'm just saying hi to the people at the chat. And
Nice.
there's people in Rumble as well. So I
Yes.
don't usually go to Rumble. How is
Yeah.
it? Is Rumble much different
Um,
than
well, if you're want it to be the same as YouTube, then I would say you're going to be disappointed because it's not the same as YouTube. It still has a lot of room to grow, but it does have a little bit more freedom and say the copyright feature, right? Like you're not going to
okay?
get easily copyrighted by like how YouTube does. I'm sure you've run that across multiple times, or YouTube just copyrights you for some odd reason. You're like, I don't understand what's going on, or they don't give you one. It's for right now, it's mostly streams, but they do have people who put edited content up or short form content, even though they don't have shorts. But it's still a work in progress. It still is a work in progress,
Okay.
but it's not going to be on the same principle as YouTube because again, I mean, YouTube's been around for longer, has more backing. Obviously, it has
Yeah.
a lot more backing.
I never been much on Rumble. I see
Mhm.
someone there like
Lord of the Ree,
Lord of the Ree says
yeah.
I plays Yahtzee online against people. I destroy them. Maybe you can teach me a little bit. I don't know. I just I never played it, so it's. What was I going to say? I mean, when I'm copyrighted on YouTube, I kind of know what it is. It's
Yeah,
usually the bass covers.
yeah.
So when I play a bass cover, I know I'm going to be copyrighted. There's a few instances where it just says like, "Oh, this is blocked in everywhere in the
Yep.
world. You
Uh,
cannot." I was just like, "Oh, okay, okay, okay." But other than that, I usually don't get much copyrighted because I avoid using music on my videos,
mm,
or if I'm using something that I made.
yeah,
So I played on a bass or
yeah,
something. So just to avoid the copyright stuff.
yeah. No, and that's understandable too, because I've run the situation where I was streaming something and I ran across someone's stream and they were doing something like WWF or something, and they hit you hard. Oh, WWF does not like their stuff being streamed unless it's them. So
Yeah.
there's that. Then there was it was like an opening song for like an anime opening or whatever. I got hit with that one, but you know, the tools that YouTube has, you could just have that taken out. But on Rumble, I don't have that issue, so I don't have to worry about that. But I mean, it varies between different. I never played Yahtzee.
I never played it. I never I mean, I should be checking now Yahtzee. I don't think I've ever played Yahtzee.
It's been a
It's
long time.
it's been a long time. I used to play Hearts a whole lot.
Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
actually, what is that new game like? Oh, or the one that won Game of the Year or something? Balastro, whatever its name is. Is it not a card game? My dad's gonna
Um,
love that. My dad does puzzles every day, like card puzzles, Portal, doesn't matter. He plays
Balatro,
one Balatro, something like that. Yeah.
Balatro, yeah,
Uh, my dad plays a lot of card games and puzzle
mhm,
games. He
yeah.
plays one that's called Line, where you just need to, and so you might be interested in that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've seen that a few times before, but I've never. I mean, there's so many card games out there, but the one that will really get you screwed over is Uno. But that's if you allow all the stuff like piling on the two plus or whatever. Then you're like,
Damn, it's been a while since I played you Uno.
you know, if you allow the rule where you can pile on your plus twos, someone's gonna get in real trouble.
True. So do
Yeah,
tell me, like, from all those stickers there at the back, right?
yes,
What was the
yes.
last one? What was the last one that you put up there?
Actually, because so to give a backdrop to what those are. Oh, hello, Alfredo. Hello, and thanks for joining.
Chorizo, let's go.
Yeah,
Vicious never.
but to give a kind of backdrop, so
Sucker.
I'm not monetized on YouTube. I don't have the amount of followers or the um, time or whatever it is. But on Rumble, I'm instantly monetized. So what
Mm.
that means is you can get their Rumble rants or their gifted subs or whatever, and those colored papers right there. These papers right here, if you see them, the salmon ones, those are memberships. the multicolored ones, those are rumble rants. So there've been a lot of different people who've rumble ran, and I kind of put them up there. But the last one I think was a um, oh man, I don't. It's been a while. I think one was like a $1, $2 sort of thing. Because
Okay.
I do something at the end where people can donate if they want something more of. But yeah, it's just a collection of different people. I've tried to clean it up a bit, but unfortunately, the rest of it is not so clean. So
That's good. Yeah.
yeah,
Eventually, you're gonna need like something like a green screen, and then just have like the name scrolling or something.
yeah. Well,
It's quite easy to do.
yeah. Well, and unfortunately, I'm
This
not.
was this was super cheap.
Oh, really? Wow.
This one was super cheap. I don't think it was 50 quid.
Wow. Well, I'm
I think it was
American.
like yeah, so around it wasn't $50.
Okay.
So it was 40 something. It just hangs at the top, and then just pull it down, and then that's
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
it might be I never got to use it. I need to do something about this. I need to
You
do the
should
screen, or I just never thought about it.
you should do like yourself playing a bunch of guitars and you're playing along with yourself playing the guitar sort of thing.
Well, when I do my bass covers,
Uh,
I sort of use it, because
mhm.
what I do is the camera is here, one of the cameras is here, and the other one is the GoPro. I don't know where I put it,
Uh,
and so just so I have like two angles when I'm playing,
mhm.
and I turn that screen into a green screen just so I can put something in it,
Uh,
and then I try to use the light. I need better lights actually to do
yeah.
this, and what I do is I put the video clip at the back.
Mhm.
So just to try to make it a little bit interesting, because I'm playing bass
Yeah.
on my videos,
Yeah.
it's not always like the most interesting thing to watch, I think, or to listen to,
Right.
because I'm just really just gluing the song together.
Yeah.
And even though I try to play some harmonics and I try to do something like a little bit different, it's not like
Mhm.
I am like super good at it, but I just try to do something a little bit different,
Yeah.
and just to try to make it interesting. So I try
Uh,
to play a video clip or something, just so if anyone is watching,
mm,
they're a little bit more interesting than.
mm,
And I'm not saying this in a mean way, right?
uh,
But a little bit more interesting than me just sitting down on the on
sure.
the chair and
Uh,
just like playing the bass, try to
uh,
hit all the notes perfectly. Actually, if you watch any of the videos where I'm playing,
uh,
it's usually one take,
uh,
right? And I'm laughing throughout the song, because first of all, it's blasting on my ears.
right.
I use these different monitors,
Okay.
and it's the music is blasting. So
Jeez.
sometimes I forget that I'm playing, and
Mm.
I'm just playing it, and I forget to change. And you can hear, if you see me laughing, I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot to change there. And secondly,
Uh,
I just play one take. I warm up.
uh,
I do the song about 2 3 times. I turn on the cameras, turn on the lights, record one take. And the
wow.
take that it's recorded, it's the one that stays. So this means that there's plenty of mistakes throughout the music,
Yeah.
but I think it makes it a little bit more interesting, because I'm not trying to become a musician. I'm not
Mm.
trying to become a bass player or trying
Yeah.
to display my, let's see, play bass in front of the green screen with a bunch of wild shit going on behind, like dinosaurs and explosions or something. I'm going to screen cap. I just,
Oh, oh, sorry. Here you go. Here you go.
yep, there you go.
Yeah.
No, I just screen cap that just so I don't forget to do that. But yeah, Lord of the Tree. If you go and check like some of the videos that I always try to put something interesting on the green screen. It's
Uh,
usually the video clip. I haven't thought about dinosaurs yet, but I can do that at some stage. I'm loving this. Like that. There's plenty of chat that one's free. Oh, thank you very much, man. I appreciate. I appreciate that. Jeez,
Next.
if they start charging me for that.
Yeah, yeah, he's a Lord. I've had Lord the Rion. He's a bit of a musician himself. He has some guitars and stuff like that in his collection. So
I just checking like the comments now. He seems pretty smart for a bass player. So
yeah,
thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. So I can show you like the camera is not showing, right? You don't need to change it. So
okay,
I'm gonna show you like a couple of basses here.
sure.
So that's my favorite one.
Oh
So
wow.
any musicians in the chat, raise your hand. So what are you looking at? It's my CGCF bass.
Okay.
So we're thinking about who plays CGCF. System of a Down.
Oh, all right.
System of a
System of a
Down.
Down. Yeah,
What else do I play in this? Some emo stuff.
yeah.
Emo stuff tends to go on CGCF.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Linkin Park. Some of the stuff is on CGCF.
Oh, okay. Lincoln
Right.
Bay. Oh, wow. Lincoln Park. That's
And
old school right there.
then this one, it's EADG. So this one is standard E. So this is your normal rock pop kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I have another bass, right? And then you're gonna be like, you showed this bass already, but it's actually three basses.
Oh.
I'm not sure if you can see it. So
No, I
got,
saw. Yeah.
you can see it, right?
Yeah.
So it's so I got like a second bass, which is more or less the this
Yeah.
way.
I see him.
So you can see there's three there. I do emo stuff too. The definition. Oh, the comments come in and out. It's kind of tricky. So, oh, wait a minute. I pressed something there.
Oh, I can still see
Camera's
it.
back.
You're good.
So what happens is I wanted to have more than one bass. So
Right.
the way I thought about it was, instead of having just one really good bass, because I'm not a really good player, I'd rather have like 2 or 3 kind of shitty basses, but at least I don't have to change the tuning of the basses.
Okay.
So what I do is just like I can just pick up like one of the basses. The CGCF, it's more like the System of a Down stuff.
Yeah.
The standard E would be like the normal pop and rock, and then I have like another one which I keep in between where I do experiments.
Ooh.
So every time there's something like weird, it's just me doing experiments on the bass.
Nice. Yeah, because I have the only instruments I have are a 6-string acoustic electric guitar, and then I have a 12-string acoustic, just acoustic, and I haven't really played them in a while. But I mean, 12-string is not something it's quite a difficult one because you have to keep it tuned. It does go out of tune after a while.
The sound of the 12 string, though.
Yeah.
Oh, Cinevere is there as well. Like, nice seeing you.
Nice. Yeah, no, and I've had it it's with my dad's guitars, but he didn't play with them very much more, and I haven't played with them either. But I do have those ones where I've been practicing and whatnot. So I know a little guitar, but don't ask.
What's a little guitar?
A little guitar is I may know something, but I still have to look up the chords for it.
What's your favorite song? Okay, chat. What's your favorite song to play on an instrument? If you play an instrument, what's your favorite thing to play? What's your favorite song to play? Yeah. The most fun.
Well, but it gets pricey. Yeah, that's true. I believe that. I used to have a 7-string. Oh wow!
I used to have a 7-string. Like, oh man, I can barely play 4 strings. Like, let alone. Well, I used to have like 5-string basses. Yeah. So, favorite thing to play, guys and girls. Come on, "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. That's a great choice. I must say, last year for Halloween, I played "Hallowed Be Thy Name" by Iron Maiden.
Oh, wow.
It's such a fun song to play. Actually, I played, what's the song? Hardline, Hot Cherry. And it's just such a fun song to play. So I tend to pick my songs as in like something that cathartic, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, after work, you just pick up the bass and you just go at it, you know? So just like express yourself throughout the bass.
Yeah.
If I could have drums, that's what I would be doing, like just beating the shit out of them. But I can't,
Yeah.
And I actually have everything plugged in, so there's no amps or anything because of the neighbors and everything.
Oh yeah.
Leonard has a good one, "Smells Like Teen Spirit" as well. That's a
There you
really
go.
good one.
Nirvana.
Wait a minute. There, I saw there Katy Perry.
Katy Perry Firework.
Okay. Easy there, old Joe. Come on now. I want to see more songs from the chat.
I'm trying to I'm trying
because
to think of one myself. Yeah.
yeah, because I think I'll be using this as
Yeah. That'd
ideas.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
thanks.
I do. There's one song I've played on the guitar, and it's an old Beatles song. It's called "I'll Follow the Sun." It's very simple. Again, it's very simple. I
Doesn't
tried.
matter. Do you enjoy playing it?
Yeah, I enjoy it. Well, I enjoy playing it because it's simple. It doesn't demand a lot, but I still have trouble of trying to change chords at a certain time because you do kind of trip over yourself and how it
Hmm.
goes. But that song, there was another one I'm trying to think of, but there are a lot of songs you listen on the radio and you try to you go to places where you can see the chords because I'm more of a I don't have a music sheet and I can't play by ear, not that good,
Hmm.
unfortunately. If I could play by ear, you would not see me. But yeah. I do ever feel like a plastic bag blowing in the wind, wanting to start again.
What is? Wait. I can't think of it because it's a bit too late. But I know it's a reference. I just
It
I
probably
can't.
have American Beauty, I think is what he's talking about.
Could
Because
be. Could be.
because the plastic bag blowing in the wind. Used to play piano, was a toy, never got lessons. I would play the tunes from oh, there you go, Ocarina of Time. That's not good. That's
That's
not bad one.
that's kind of cool. See,
Yeah.
the thing is, like when it comes to instruments, everyone just like I think sometimes people just see all these super talented people on YouTube,
Uh,
and they think that they need to kind of play at that level to
mm,
even record something or even just pick up a guitar or whatever and play.
yeah.
But I disagree with that so much. I think if you can afford like I don't know, a 20 quid guitar or whatever, even if it is just a ukulele or whatever,
Uh,
and you don't have to play all the chords, all the notes,
yeah.
everything perfectly. If you
Right.
just can scrape it, you simplify it, which is what I sort of do for some of the songs. I
Yeah.
simplify it. I rewrite some of the notes, just the ones I cannot play. I just rewrite,
Yeah.
and have fun. It's just people forget this. Like it's about having fun. It's
Mhm.
about just like expressing yourself. It's like
Yeah.
it's so hard to explain. It's just something that you have, and it just need to kind of like
Yeah. It's a
get it out. Just have fun.
it's that feeling of just wanting to play with it, right? You're having
Oh,
fun with the song, you play.
phrasing.
Yeah, yeah, not like not like that.
I get you. I get you. I get you. But yeah, it's just sometimes it's just that, and then if you hook it up to the to I don't know, like I have like a little mixer here or something, and when you strum the chords, like you can actually hear yourself,
Yeah,
and when you make mistakes, you can also hear them.
yeah,
But I think it's just so interesting that you get in the moment, and then you just think like, oh yeah, I'm participating with this. This is the escapism. Is it
escapism.
escapism?
Mhm.
So here's the thing: like I might mispronounce a lot of words because I
That's
just
fine.
speak like all the different languages.
Yeah,
So please do correct me because
you're
I
fine.
know that I mispronounce words all the time. One
That's
of the
what she
words
said.
one of the most interesting words was fountain because
Oh,
like
Fontaine.
fountain.
Fontaine. Yeah,
We pronounce it fountain,
Fontaine. Okay.
and then people pronounce it fountain.
Oh,
What was the other?
Okay, I thought you said
See,
Fontaine. It's like,
yeah,
yeah, okay.
the other one was Cass said like a few days ago was vehicle.
Oh.
I pronounce it vehicle because I'm thinking it about three languages at the same time.
Yeah.
Actually, I noticed this today. I put up a video
Uh-huh.
and I was rewatching the video,
Uh-huh.
and I was just, oh my god, I'm translating expressions from Portuguese,
Uh-huh.
Portuguese, half Spanish
Uh-huh.
into English, and I make no sense at all. But I'm not going to record the video, so
Yeah.
there's about three or four sentences that make no sense at all in English
Yeah.
because it's just direct translations. But in
Mm,
Portuguese, they kind of make sense. Kinda, they still
yeah.
not make too much sense.
Yeah.
Do you speak any other languages?
I tried to learn another language. I was trying to learn Japanese, but it
Everyone
wasn't.
wants to learn Japanese.
Well, not everyone. I know some people like to learn Espanol or stuff like that, but not it was getting to the point where it's like I wasn't really keeping up with it, and so there was that. I thought we were talking about Bioshock for a minute. Well, no, I thought he was talking about that too, but he was meaning fountain. Fountain is what the word was going for. But no, it's
Fabio,
Fabio. That's right, Fabio.
Nick Fontaine.
Nick Fontaine. They're just throwing stuff out at you. They're like, he doesn't know words. But yeah, Japanese was one of them. I know a few words here and there for Japanese, but I don't know enough to. Someone says French,
Yeah,
français,
français.
français, mais oui.
Je parle un petit peu de français. J'entends très bien. Non, not très bien. J'entends petit peu de français.
Oh,
So if someone speaks slowly to me in French
yeah.
and Italian, I can understand. Even Spanish now, because I haven't practiced it for a long time. So I used to live in I lived in Andorra for a while because I was a
Okay.
bike mechanic and I
Oh,
wanted
wow.
to move there, but COVID happened, and then we just all had to come back, and then everything. So there goes my dream of just living in the mountains or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to learn. So I was good at listening.
Yeah.
So I could understand it pretty well, but
Nice.
not necessarily communicate back. It was going to come in with time, and then because I had to do some exams and everything. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, that's not. I mean, that's pretty great in itself, especially when for someone who could speak multiple languages. Yeah.
I'm just laughing at Lauren. Do you want to speak with gay people?
Well, the only French I know is omelette du fromage. That's pretty much all.
Baguette, fromage, Tour Eiffel, Peugeot. Oh, sacre bleu. I don't think that they say that actually.
Well, there's that, or s'il vous plaît. S'il vous plaît is another one.
MDR, which is mort de rire. It's like
Morterie?
it's like a le mao in English.
Oh.
You know? It's the lol. So it's something like that. So
Oh, goodness.
and poulet, it's kind of like, I think poulet is like chicken, but
Oh, yeah.
it's not. It doesn't really mean chicken. It's just like it means like
Feathered
I don't
bird.
know. It's
Dirty
le
chicken.
bird, le bird,
Le
le
bird.
chicken.
Le concierge.
He knows he doesn't have to stand up to
Well,
talk.
he wants.
Right?
He wants to.
So I can explain that, right?
Okay.
So there is no. I'm trying to think about this because I don't want to come across kind of like mean when I say this, right?
No,
So I think that if you stand up, right, and if you kind of move, depending on like who you're streaming with. So I did a few streams with Leon, and a lot of the streams he said like, "Oh, would you jump in?" And I knew nothing about the subjects, but if and he just needed like a co-pilot, and then just having like a full time. So I was just like, oh, I got you, brother. And one of the things that happened during those streams is that people feel like or they say that they feel a little bit more engaged when you have someone that is actually moving and then it's just doing something. So I can just do this, and then if I do this, you're supposed to pick the cue.
I thought you were gonna do like a cartwheel or something. I was like, oh
no,
man,
I was not going to do anything. But if I step away from the microphone, you kind of pick up the cue that I'm not there. So you kind of pick up the slack, the conversation or something. So it's a little bit more engaging than just like sitting down, slouch on the chair and just talking. And I'm not just bashing on anyone. Like if you have to do that, like if you're tired or something, it's like late at night. It is, but I just think it's just a little bit more engaging. Maybe it's not, because someone said like, hey, that guy can sit down for a second. But I just think it's like it's a little bit more interesting if I do this.
And it's understandable because I know there are some content creators that have like a standing desk, right? They have that standing that rises or lowers, because the inactivity, because majority of the time they're sitting down for like 10, 12, I don't know how many hours, and so having that ability to stand kind of cuts back on that sort of sedentary part of it. And I mean, you're a guy who looks like you could take down a few brick walls, and you want to stay
One and a
active.
half.
Okay, 1.5. I was trying to make you look a little better, but 1.5. Um, but yeah, no, it's understandable, and either or works. It's just one is more sedentary because you're sitting down. But if you're not sitting down for like 8 or 10 hours every day, then you're fine. I mean, like for me, I try not to. I try to go outside. I try to go for a walk. Especially well, it's kind of a little harder now with it being a little cold, but now it's starting to warm up a bit. So you can go outside, do a walk, and all that stuff. And I try to do that
Yeah.
more than just because again, it's good to be active, but I mean, it's up to you to how to be active. Otherwise, it's sort of like someone telling you you got to be active, and they tell you how to do this activity, and you're just like, I could just go for a walk. That's fun. That's the funniest thing is the easiest thing
Yeah.
people can do, right? The easiest people think can do is a
Yeah,
walking,
I mean, I don't mean it in like in a mean way, like when I
right?
say like, oh, I'm sitting or standing or something, but like
Uh,
just like Charissa said, it's just a little bit more lively, you know. I think
yeah, lively,
uh,
yeah.
I just wanted to. I think it's. I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. It's
No,
just I think that it makes like a little bit more interesting, at least for me, right?
yeah,
I I can move a little bit. I can find an excuse to just like walk out of the camera or something.
yeah,
So, if I'm sitting down, like I
yeah,
don't, I think now that I think of it, I think I picked this up from working from home, right? So
yeah,
that will be like the one at the back. That will be my work computer, and
uh,
I just wanted to have it on a completely different desk.
yeah,
And when there was meetings, right, and you're sitting down on a meeting, and you're sitting down on a meeting, but
yep,
if you're standing, you can actually walk around a little bit and then get away from the camera a little bit.
yeah,
If you're sitting down and you turn off the camera, it's kind of like, is there a problem? Is there any reason why you turn off the camera? And
yeah,
this is so I think that I picked up the okay, I'm just gonna stand for this because I
yeah.
think it's just a little bit more interesting. But hey, I'm not bashing on anyone.
No, no, no.
I don't want to come across wrong when I say this.
No, you're fine. I mean, again, there are a lot of content creators that have started to turning to having a standing desk, for health benefits and all that stuff. Because
Yeah,
sitting for a long time is not that great. It's just a current of chosen. If you're going to sit down for a long periods of time, you might as well just stand up because it's just crazy how sedentary that content creation can be, right? You're sitting down editing videos or streaming or whatever, and
yeah.
you don't want to what's the word? You don't want to,
Sit all day.
yeah, sit all day. You don't want to extend that bad sort of bad habit in a sense. You do want to at least be someone active because a lot of people who aren't active, they tend not to go the distance longer. And so you really want to keep to some right. You don't have to be active all day. You don't have to be like a football player
Yeah.
or some rock climber or whatever. You just want to be like 30 minutes a day of walking, really. Is like the minimum base you can try to do. That will
I think that was one of the reasons why I've picked up the. I tried to go into the gym in the morning just to make
mm,
sure that I did like that exercise because I know for the rest of the day I'm gonna be sitting down at the computer and editing and whatnot.
oh yeah.
And actually, I think no, be going back to the warehouse, so it's gonna be all day standing up. So
Yeah.
I probably the next stream people won't find it so awkward because I'm gonna be just pulling the chair and I'm gonna have my Cheetos like Bliv said, and I'm just gonna sit munching Cheetos. I'll be like, Dara, I'm sorry, man. I'm just too tired, man. I was just walking all
No,
day. I
you're
had like
fine.
17,000 steps. Like,
Oh,
man.
nice.
No,
That
I'm
that
no, it's the next time. I'm just saying,
oh,
like the next time.
right, right. No, that's still a lot of steps though, to be honest.
I got a laugh from Blip, so we're good. So we're
Yeah, there
good.
you go. There you go. Now you're getting the laughs. But yeah, no, again, it's up to you how you want to do it because it's your arena. Why not? Right? It's your arena. I've never been. I don't have a standing desk because I don't have that kind of money. But but I do it with what I have, and then after when I'm done, I go out and I do my activity because again,
Uh, Man, I don't have a standing desk as well, but I kind of like did it. I just put some boxes, so I lift the monitor. So I
uh,
have like the monitor arms, so they're not like that expensive. They were like 20-30 bucks. So just to make sure that like the monitor was raised up, and then you put a few boxes, and then you kind of stand. You make it
yeah,
work. You make it
yeah,
work.
yeah,
So it does
exactly.
it does get tiring like after a while, and you're just gonna go like, I'm just gonna sit down,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, because I stand all day pretty much for my work too, and I'm up like 8 hours a day. Well, 7.5 because I do take a half an hour lunch. But it's sort of like that sort of thing. Like, hey, Jason. Um, but it's sort of the thing where it's like you've been up all day, standing on your feet, and you just want to sit down for a little while. The only problem is though, is that if you want to get some activity in, if you sit down for too long, you don't want to get up again, right?
Oh,
You
I
have
don't
the
know. Like I'm getting up all the time. I'm
some
just like,
people, not all, yeah,
yeah, I'm just like, because you're sitting here and then you just drink all the time. So
yeah.
you just got to recycle it. So
Yeah. Okay. Nice to see you again, sir. How are you doing? Um, but yeah, each to their own, right? Each to their own. You're creating content the way you want to, and all that stuff, and telling you what to do for, the sitting or the standing or whatever. Because it's just one of those things, content creation. Like for me, I don't because I know you've been on a bunch of different content creator streams and stuff Leon's, which that's how I met you through was through that.
that was a
Um,
great show.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I met a nice group of people there. Well, I've been on Roger Ryan stuff. I've been on his stuff. It's sort of like a go around. It's been hard too because I do during the weekdays. I'm pretty much full every day, because I almost have a person a day,
Yeah.
basically. So at this point, I'm a little over 130 different people as guests.
That's a lot. Like we were just scrolling like through the guests and then just guessing, just saying like, oh, I watched this one, I watched this one,
Uh,
and there's you have like a lot of guests coming in. So thanks very much for inviting me. So
no, thank you for
I much appreciate this.
no,
You
thanks
know,
for.
going around with like all these honored guests, and people are probably going into chat like, who the hell is this guy? So
No, and it,
yeah,
you know what? I've had Leon before too, so there was that. It's one of those things where it's like taking up the opportunity because what I do, I just didn't see a lot of other content creators do, and that's bring on people who aren't also content creators. Like I've had people on who don't even show their face. I've had VTubers on. I've had a whole
yeah,
smorgasbord of different people. The point of the meeting is just
to have a
having
conversation.
have a conversation. Yes, because it doesn't seem like it's very much of a thing anymore. I mean, you have people who talk about stuff, sure, but it's mostly about the news of the day. Like, oh, what's going on with this thing right now? Or I don't have to. I can talk about whatever, and we've been all over the place for this point. But yeah, I
Yeah.
just, I just enjoy the ability of what this thing can do and to whom, right? Like I've had people on, very few. I've had very few people on who are like trying to get water from stone. It's difficult, but that's the challenge, right? If you aren't challenging yourself to some degree, whether it's by intention or not, how do you grow as someone who can better themselves in a conversation wherever you go? Right. I mean, this whole thing relies on us to be able to was it two-way communicate with each other and to be able to at
Yeah.
least hold some understanding with each other. And
Are you pulling like a bit of a Joe Rogan here? Are you just starting your own Joe Rogan thing?
well, no, I've seen some of Joe Rogan's show and I've watched some of it, but majority of the time he has people that are high and stuff like PhDs, people that are sort of like within his field of like conspiracy or aliens or whatnot, or UFC stuff or stuff. I don't have that kind of pull. Like I can still be ignored by pretty much anyone. So I don't have name
Yeah.
recognition. I don't have all that stuff. It's just reaching out and saying, okay, would you like to come on? And sometimes people say yes, sometimes people say no, and sometimes there's no answer at all. So, and of course, I do a majority of my communication through Twitter X, not like Discord, like
Yeah.
where we dot ours, but through Twitter X.
Yeah, so I don't want to come in like as just sound like playing devil's advocate or something, but
Yeah.
I'm really bad at following X, and then
Mhm.
every time I just turn it on, I just see the most egregious stuff on the the timeline. And
Yeah.
I saw the notification for the stream today, so I reposted. But there's sometimes every now and again I just go like, how do I even do this on X? And I'm not sure if this happens to everyone else,
Mm.
but the X crashes on my phone, so I can never
Uh,
check it on my phone. So
yeah.
the app crashes the messages. So I
Jeez.
was just like, I have like a just a garbage phone, I suppose. But I don't know what's going on. So I just check it when I'm at the computer. And even checking at the computer is just I left social media or I mean, does YouTube count as social media?
Yeah,
Uh, I,
sort
le-
of.
I
Yeah.
I left like all the Facebooks, Instagrams,
Mhm.
Snapchats, and stuff like a few years ago. I
Yeah.
think I only kept the Instagram because I had to, because of the brand. Because when I was a bike mechanic, they were giving me like shit for free. So
Why?
I was just like, well, I'll take it. And then all I need to do is just say that I'm using these gloves and I'm using this wrench. Absolutely, because it was expensive stuff,
Oh, yeah.
and just the fact that they were giving me this for free, I was just like, well, I'll take it. I'm not going to say no to this.
No, jeez,
So,
no.
yeah. So, but after that, I just said, like, "Ugh, I don't want to be on all this stuff and then
Yeah.
TikToks and stuff. I'm just like, I don't want to just sit down and just scroll and scroll and scroll, which is a little bit what
Mhm.
starts to happen with this. What is that? Bishop Leon scolds me for not liking
To
to
go on
go on
X.
X. Yes, it crashes for me too. Okay, so it's just not my problem. Yeah, it's just like they use the X like a lot for like the conversations that I'm just like,
Yeah.
oh man, and I've and because I'm on a different time zone as
Yep.
well.
Mhm.
So by
Yep.
the time I wake up, all the conversations were gone. So I'm just answering to a conversation that happened about 5 or 6 hours ago. So it doesn't make much sense to just
Yeah.
go in and then just answer.
Yeah, and that's why I try to for me, that's why I try to leave as many avenues of contact open as possible because you never know. Like for your situation, you never know, and so that's why I have the Discord sort of, and that's why I have like an email as well because people not a whole lot, which again, majority is through Twitter X, but there's still like those few little grains of sand that go through email or Discord or whatever, and that's I keep that open because yeah, I do have trouble. I have had trouble in the past of checking my messages, but again, you do want to keep as many avenues open as possible because you don't know how someone's able to communicate, like yourself or someone else. Um,
Yeah.
but no, yeah, I was in the same boat too. Like I had Instagram, I had Facebook, I had all this stuff, and at a certain point, it's so demanding, it's so draining,
Yeah, it
and
just takes a lot of energy to go in and answer, and then the amount of stuff that you see there, and you're just gonna, oh my god, this is
yeah,
so daft. It's just
yeah, it's
so
silly. It gets silly, or it gets and especially when they added the monetization, right? When they added the monetization to Twitter X, people
with
were just
and then with there's just far too much advertising, and I know that you can just like get some ad blockers and stuff, but
yeah,
let it out, get out of the nonsense. True. I left
no,
and I don't mess around. So I think the only reason why I have X is because I reserve the names,
mm,
and because some people do communicate more through X. So
yeah,
it's like they don't have Discord, or they just send DMs there. And I said, oh, I sent you a DM on Discord. Can you
yeah,
send it on X as well? Okay.
yeah,
I just copy and paste it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
could you not have just check on Discord? Some people just don't like it, so it's fine.
yeah.
It's whatever makes it easier to communicate.
Yeah, again, I when I was telling you earlier is I try to do this thing where I try to at least work within my guest grasp because again, you don't know the situation like yours. You're like 5 hours ahead of me and all this stuff. The point of the matter is though is it's sort of just like I want my guests to be able to come on if they say yes because stuff happens, right? There's stuff happens and there's emergency or whatever, so that's fine. But when a guest is able to come on, it's like I don't care if you're a creator or not. This is the time to have a conversation about whatever and just see where it goes and have fun with it and all that stuff and and just try to work within that flexibility because I do think that a lot of content creators they have a strict time thing, right? Like they have a strict this is when it's going. That's understandable for consistency, but for me my
Yeah.
consistency is I work within your schedule. I make sure ahead of time, like I gave you the link today 24 hours in advance, at least
Yeah.
for my time point. I don't remember what time was yours when I gave it, um, but I give it. I try to give as much time in advance so that if something happens, that hey, whatever. Because some content creators, I think when they're setting up a stream, they may do it like maybe an hour or so before, and I'm just like I'm not really comfortable with that.
Spit too tight.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Oh,
Yes,
phrasing.
it is a bit too
Tight is good. Just- do tell
phrasing.
phrasing. Do tell me, like, what's your favorite conversation topic? Like, wait, even better, what is your chat's favorite conversation topic? What do they like to ask? One of my favorite questions to ask everyone Do
Yeah.
type it in the chat. What is your favorite dessert? I always like to know. What is your favorite dessert?
I'm a chocoholic by nature, so there's that.
Chocolate. Let's see. Let's see from the chat. Like, what is going to be your favorite dessert? I'm gonna say mine. Apple pie. I love apple
Really?
pie. I like to make apple pie. That's my catchphrase. I exercise because apple pie. That's honestly that's the only reason. If God comes down and says like, "Hey, Bish, you don't have to exercise anymore. You can eat as much apple pie and kebab as you want," I'll be like, "You serious? Are you sure?" And you'll be like, "Yeah, I'll give you a good body, and then you can eat all the apple pie in the world that you want." I was like, "Okay, let's do that."
Oh my
So
gosh.
80% proof.
I don't think that's a food item.
No, I was just looking for food, but I don't see any food.
Yeah, that's something. But um
Tiramisu. Oh my god! Like, yes, I love tiramisu as well.
yeah, I see that tiramisu, pies, oh, chorizo's pie's not his thing. Um that's okay. I mean, I mean apple pie is fine. I usually like apple pie with like it's warm and then you put the whipped cream on top and then that oof.
Ice cream. Oof.
Oh yeah. Rocky Road is my favorite. I love Rocky Road. Or Moose Tracks. I like Moose Tracks. Um
Nice.
but yeah, I like like frozen custard. Frozen custard's another one I enjoy. Or you have like frozen froyo, frozen
Oh,
yogurt and stuff like that. Oh,
banoffee pie.
what's that?
I think it's like banana caramel stuff.
Ooh, no, I've never heard of it.
Super, super good.
There you go. Yes, he is. He's fueled by apple pies. Look at that. He's fueled
Push
by apple.
pops. I don't know what push pops are.
So they in America they're like this ice. They're like this like sherbet type of ice cream, and it's sort of like a cylinder, um, cone thing. It's like a paper cylinder thing, but
Okay.
you have this sherbet ice cream inside it, and so you just kind of push up as far as you go. So you just look at the top and all that stuff. It's like
Okay.
Flintstones. Let me. Yeah, I'll get a visual for you. Push pop.
Just the top.
Just the top. All right. Oh, okay. So maybe not that top. I think he's talking about this one. These
Push
push
pops. Let's
pops.
see.
One.
I derailed this a little bit because I was
No, you're
asking
fine.
like, what's your favorite topic to?
So
Oh,
I think
I know what you. I see it. I see it.
yeah, I think he's talking about
I
like this
think I know.
push pop.
Okay, a giant push pop.
Yeah,
Okay.
triple flavored. There was a oh, what was it? Ice cream. Ice cream. There we go. I think that's the one I was trying to look for. Um, ice cream push pops. Like this. This is what I was talking about. Push
Okay.
treats.
All right. Okay. Okay. I think something similar. Like I think I have something similar before.
Yeah, but this is basically what it would be is that you'd have this like
Refreshing,
sherbet.
watery stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, sherbet, and then you'd push it up as far as you go, and look at, and of course it'd be like the Flintstones. The
Okay.
Flintstones would have theirs and all that stuff. But yeah, that's another form of push pop or push treats. But yeah, you'd have that from an ice cream truck, or you'd have like those Sonic and or Spider-Man or whatever. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so that was what you're talking about. Okay, so it was the push pop ice cream. Okay, all right.
But I derailed this a little bit because I was
you're
asking
fine.
like, what's your favorite topic to talk about?
This what is this show for, man? You can derail it as much as you want.
No. Like I'm asking you actually, because I've been derailing since we started. So
No, but again, that's the whole point of the show. Is that the whole point is to have a free flowing conversation that can go anywhere. Because I know a lot of times content creators have a topic centered thing, right? Like on Countercast, so, Leon was going through his whole cast of things like, oh, this is a gaming company, and this for me, it's like I can go anywhere. We can start at one point, and we can end up in the ocean or in the sky, wherever you want. Because I can be on those shows. I can answer those questions, but it's not a natural. It's not a. I don't know how to best describe it. It's just not a click for me. It's not the forte for me. It's that end thing that clicks. Because again, with this, I can go just about anywhere. I am not limited by any top of the hour stuff. I'm not limited by what's on the day. I am not limited by any of that. I can go anywhere. It's like reading Rainbow. Read a book, take a look. It's in the book. Reading Rainbow, that sort of stuff. Cookies and cream.
Oh,
Oh, there you go.
I like frozen Oreos or
Oh,
something.
ooh. How about deep fried Oreos? You ever had those?
No, that's the thing. Like Americans deep fry everything. You know, it's like I saw it one time. It was like Mars bar rolled in bacon and then deep fried. I was just wondering, like, oh, geez, like the amount of calories in that.
Oh yeah. Oh, but Twinkies. There's Twinkies. There's Snickers. There was one. There's a cable network thing called the Travel Channel, and they would go around to like these 100 different places, whatever. They went to this fair, and so what they did was there's this fair that had like this Coca-Cola thing where it was like Coca-Cola cubes, deep fried cubes, and then Coca-Cola syrup, and it was insane. They would freeze these cubes or put it in like a buttermilk powder thing or whatever and deep fry those, and then they have like the Coca-Cola syrup. It was just like Coca-Cola everything. It's like, oh, okay, I need to
Oh
stop.
man. I would
Oh,
like a story from him, actually, like something wild that happened or something. I'm trying to think of something that wild that happened. I ruptured my Achilles. I'm not sure if like that will be like a very interesting story to
go
tell.
for it.
Have you guys ever like? Do you guys know what rupturing Achilles? Has anyone in chat had like a big injury before? Right?
I've
It's like
had a
go on.
I've had a surgery where they had to lengthen my Achilles tendons but never ruptured it.
Never ruptured it.
No.
So I'll tell you the story like how I ruptured. So this was a race. We were doing like a mountain bike race. So do you guys know what downhill is? So you go on these like really heavy bikes. There's about like 20 kgs. And the bikes, is that a foot thing, right? Yes. So it's the back of your foot, right? And it's the tendon that actually controls the way you can move the foot like up and down and stuff.
Yep.
And then what happened was the race was called Fox Hunt.
Ooh.
If you bring up like the browser, you can just type downhill race Fox Hunt, just so people have like a bit of an idea of what it is. So
Downhill.
basically, you're on the top of a mountain, and then there's like a bunch of people, and then we all start like racing down the mountain, but it happens at the same time. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like crazy.
Yeah, it's the Red Bull Fox Hunt. Yeah.
Yeah, just click on images. Like there should be like a cool image. So I was in one of those races, right?
Yeah.
And on one of those races, so what happens like is everyone just like racing down the mountain. So as every time you race, you need to do something like a track walk. So you need to go around and learn the track, and then you go in again and you start racing. So that's some of the stuff that happens, like people just crashing. And then I don't know why we do that. Like I suppose like we just don't care much about like living or something, and it's just like it's a big rush of adrenaline.
Yeah.
Actually, when I crashed, right? So it was like super steep, and I don't want to blame the person that was behind me, obviously, because it was my fault. But I think that I just slammed the brakes a little bit too much, and then someone just like gave me a little bump, and then I just went over the bars. So as I was going over the bars, I was just thinking like, oh, I did this like a million times, going over the bars and crashing on the floor, because I went down like a few times already. And what happened was, as I was going over the bars, I just like, you need to be careful not to put your hands down, because if you put your hands down like this, right, the impact is going to go somewhere, and it usually goes up to the collarbone. So have you ever seen like people in motocross, for example? So some people use knee braces, but some people don't use knee braces, because if like the impact doesn't go on the knee, it needs to go somewhere, right? It's kinetic energy. So they just like goes like somewhere.
Yeah.
So what happened was I start rolling, but then when I got up and then I put my foot on the pedal, I couldn't feel the foot. And what happened was like the Achilles tendon just snapped. And I had so much adrenaline in my blood that I didn't even feel about it. Oh, like nice tiramisu. That I didn't even felt it. So the doc came in and said like, you're not going to be driving home because you ruptured your Achilles. So one of the things that you do is like you usually drive with a friend or something, because at least it's going to be like very much. You need to be like very unlucky to have like the two people getting injured, right? So at least one of them can bring the car. So it was actually my car. So my friend just like drove me back home. So the
Oh,
next
wow.
day, I had to go to I went to the clinic, and it was just so funny. So there was like this Indian this Indian doctor, and it just like comes. I just come into the to the like to the place and stuff like, and he goes like, do not sit, go to there, and then I just like I go to this place, right, and I just like I put the leg up, and then he's just like, he squeezes my leg, and there's no movement. I didn't even felt the squeeze or anything. I just knew that he was squeezing because I was looking.
Oh.
And then I sit in the chair, and he goes like, there is two options. Either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. In your case, you're pregnant. And I was like, what? And it was like, you're not smart. You ruptured your Achilles. And I was like, oh, okay. So it was just so funny because he's saying this, right? And he just walking to the door, and he opens the door and goes like, Mary, we have another one for Thursday. And then he closes the door, and then he just like sits down, and then Mary goes like on the keyboard.
Yeah.
And he goes like, take this paper, come back in 2 days, and you're going to be operated. Goodbye. I was just like, okay. My friend was like, do you need a second opinion? I was like, what second opinion? He told me I was pregnant. So I was just like, I'm just gonna give birth in 2 days. So I came back in 2 days, right? And it was just like, okay, first it was like one of the most embarrassing moments of my life. It was crazy because I go in, right? I don't even have no problems like telling this. Like if I cannot have a laugh of myself, like why not? So I just they gave me like the paper thing for you to put, right? Just before you go to the operation. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you go in and you shower, and then you put that, and I'm just like waiting with that, and it was just like, I was just like, this is very transparent, like this is so weird. And then the doctor comes in with like 3 young daughters, and he goes like, this man come to me with pain, no pain. What happened? And I was just like looking at them, and I was looking at like the 3 young doctors, and then one of them, that was like the 3 female, and then they were like, I don't know, turn around. And I was just like, oh my God. And I'm just like turning around on that paper thing, like kind of like, oh man, kind of like almost butt naked. And it starts squeezing my leg. He ruptured the Achilles, and it was like, very good, very good. And then they walk away. And I'm just like there, butt naked. I was just like, what the hell is happening? 2 minutes come in, the nurse comes in. I didn't even have time to grab my GoPro.
Oh no.
And then he was just like bringing me to the operation block. So I look to my left, and I was just like, sup. And then he goes like, sup, what did you do? And I was just like, mountain biking. And he goes like, okay, rugby. I was like, okay. And then I turned to the other side. There was another one, basketball for me. And I was like, okay. It was the day for like, I think it was the sports guys. And then guys gave me like anesthetics. And I remember like waking up, and I was just like, oh, okay. So they operated. It was like everything happened so fast. But the best part of it was after the operation, I fell asleep. So I wake up from the anesthetics, but then I fell asleep. And then when I woke up, the pain was like 0 to 10 was like a 9. And then I just said to the nurse, this is a 9. I'm in so much pain. And they gave me morphine.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. It was amazing. And I was just like, I've heard stories about people getting like morphine, and I was just like, oh shit, this is great. It was just like, this is the best thing ever. And I was just like, I was just trying to get more, but they didn't give me like as much anymore.
Yeah, because it's a very addictive drug. Yes. And
he used humor to relieve the concerns. True. He kind of like used like a little bit of humor for that. So it was was it a boy or a girl, Bishop? It was a girl. It was, well, actually, Achilles was a boy, actually.
Yeah, there you
So,
go. The
so yeah,
Achilles heel, yeah.
so I fixed the Achilles, and then I can run like after. Actually, I wanted to. After after that, he gave me like a piece of paper, and he said like, you do this, you recover in 1 year. You don't do this, you recover in more than 1 year. And
Ah,
I had a mountain biking trip for 6 months later, so I was
ah,
just like, I'm gonna need to recover, and I did recover for that. So
that's
it
good.
was for Whistler in Canada. So it was kind of cool. So
Yes.
that was like a weird story, but yeah.
No, that was awesome. But yeah, that stuff is no joke to be over with. But anyway, it is the top of the hour. So to explain, it's called a power hour. And what happens is I set aside some time for us to promote ourselves because
Okay.
I know you've been on shows where they do it either like at the beginning of it or at the end of it or sporadically throughout the show. I kind of do it
Yeah.
at the top of every hour because it's sort of like a timing thing, right? Like here's an hour, we take some time, we kind of then we'll get back into it later. So I only put your like Twitter X and YouTube links. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted, but those
So
links are up.
uh, thanks for the links. Like,
Sure.
if anyone wants to go and check like my, so the reason why I started the YouTube channel wasn't really because I wanted to become a content creator.
Right.
And I always said this, like what I wanted to do was like I wanted to shift from what I was doing, which was like related to games and whatnot,
Mhm.
and office stuff and Excels, and I just wanted to go into media. So I started the YouTube channel because I wanted to have a reason to edit videos,
Oh,
and I start going into GTA or something because it was what helped me force content to create videos. Same
yeah.
with music.
Mhm.
So it's not like I wanted to become like the best bass player in the world. It's just that it's a vehicle for me to create videos and then
Yeah.
edit videos and then just keep editing and keep practicing.
Yeah.
So this is why sometimes I don't promote that much my channel, because it doesn't make much of a difference, you
Okay.
know.
Right.
Uh,
Understood.
but I appreciate like if anyone goes in and then checks my channel and appreciates like the or
Yeah.
enjoys videos about GTA or music or something,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Like watch a video, and if you enjoy it, leave me a like or a sub or something.
Yeah.
But it's not something that I do like a lot. Tell me about your content now.
Sure. Okay. All right. Well, now it's my turn, so I gotta do my stuff. Okay. And
Let's
yeah,
see.
I think even if on your YouTube, there are still more links on that. So if they want to check like your Facebook and stuff, it's there too. But anyway, for my things, whether you're on the Rumble side, whether you're on the YouTube side, doesn't matter which side you're on. If you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated. Because again, it helps in being seen more, which all content creators want. And then of course the other side of it is having people on as guests like Bishop here and Malay K and so many others. There are a whole bunch of people out there, creator or not, to have on as guests. There are millions and millions of people, and I'm working my way up, but I do enjoy having people on, just converse about whatever. And you saw like over an hour of it. So any help on either end for the engagement factor is much appreciated. And of course, I also have a link down below. It's a link to my other stuff. I have an email, I have Twitter X, I have Discord, but you just mostly use it for DMing because I don't have a server like most people do. But that's where you can find me if you want to take up the opportunity yourself to come on, because the door is open. You can either leave a comment on either Rumble or YouTube, or you can go to that link below and find my other places. Because again, this is about reaching across the table, talking to a bunch of different people about whatever comes their way. There's no set requirement other than you have to have a mic, be respectful, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I am so low bar, you'd be surprised of how many people can get past that limbo. All right, so
Ah, man, don't say can't say that like because I think you had like some really interesting people here. So
yeah,
if someone comes here, right, you can't be saying like, oh, just solo bar, like because
it was
people enjoy this. You
yeah,
know,
no.
it's you're putting conversations, so this is cool. Like people want to participate in it.
If I'm to clarify, I've had people come on where I've talked to them and say, "Well, I don't think I'm someone who has something worth saying or I'm interesting, whatever." The point of the matter is that you shouldn't think that way though, because
Yeah.
there's always something interesting to say from a personal perspective. But I'm not here to judge on whether it's interesting or not. You have something you want to say, whether you see it right now or not, you do. And bringing people on to have an open conversation about whatever, it eventually brings that out, right?
Yeah.
It's sort of like you see those people who go buy old, get those old cars at a barn or something. And they bring them out and they clean them up and all this stuff. And you see this old car that's been revitalized and they run it again and all this stuff. And it's just that's what a conversation can do. It bring out something you never thought you could do. And I get it, right? Some people don't show their face. Some people don't. Again, they have anxiety or whatever. But at the end of the day,
Bless
though,
you.
thank you. But at the end of the day, though, the point of the matter is trying to open those doors for it to happen because it doesn't seem like that happens a lot. Usually, you have content creators who stay within their circles they built, which is understandable, right? There are reasons, and then
Mhm.
you have certain niches and whatnot. I am a guy who can go anywhere. I'm not confined. Maybe you could say a podcaster, maybe you could say whatever, but I am not confined to the space of what is the thing to talk about on. I can go anywhere. And that's what I'd rather do because so many people, there's an open field that so many people can play on. And when you have that point where you get into conversation and there's like that gold nugget, right? That little gold nugget that you've been trying to get to all along, and it's just there. And you can keep going for hours on end. It's basically what it is. It's just a free flowing conversational show, and it's and I think for many people it's freeing because you're not confined to, oh, we're going to talk about this list of things, or we're going to talk about, oh, in this time period or whatever. I just can't do that. I mean, I can go on those shows, I can converse with, but
Yeah.
I can't do those shows as for myself because there's so much freedom here. There's so much where you can go to, and I understand if people feel a little
Uh,
anxious, whatever.
no, it's like everyone is going to be like a little bit different. And I think that something that people sometimes forget is that it doesn't always have to be the same all subjects all the time. And
Yeah,
then something different, or uh, how do I put this without like just feeling like I'm taking jabs? But
yeah,
sometimes uh, all we talk about is always the same subjects, and then it's always like something that has been on the news, and then it's
yeah,
refreshing to sometimes being able to just like go into a podcast, a show or something, and then just talk about something different,
yeah,
and this is one of the reasons why on my content, I try not to focus on anything that it's newsy or
yeah.
some newsy, so newsy.
That works. That works.
It's a word. It's a word.
Yeah,
I make up a lot of words,
that's
but
okay.
I just I could. So I did those tests, and then I threw videos on like throwaway channels where I just say stupid stuff about GTA 6 is woke and GTA 5 is woke and
Yeah,
something is bad, and then I get like the 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 views on those videos, but it's not something that we always want to do, and then sometimes it's just want to talk about something fun like music,
yeah.
uh, I don't know, desserts or some
Well, Achilles
weird
heel.
story,
Yeah,
Achilles heels or
yeah,
something. What do you
yeah.
want to do? Like, what was the last book that you read? Well, I didn't read any books. Like, I don't. Reading makes
Oh.
me sleepy. But like, what's the last comic or something? So it's just good sometimes to just like be able to just. And I think that you should continue to entertain these conversations because it's nice to have like something different
Yeah,
to talk about.
right.
Does this make sense?
And I understand why people do the whole Joe Rogan thing because I mean, again, he does kind of, he does kind of do that sort of thing. But for me, it's like I don't have that I don't have that reach of the high people he brings
I
on.
was
I
just
mean,
hyperbole.
well, he does have a high reach. He can reach out to many different people that are considered like high PhDs or stuff like that. They're very considered well known or well to do people. I'm not saying like super rich or whatever. I mean, he had Elon Musk on, sure, but the thing of it is I think we kind of through the many people I've followed, we kind of forget that there's more than just the news. There's more than just the gaming industry and all stuff. I get the woke stuff, but after a while, it becomes a pittance where the easiest solution is no money to them, right? Like
Yeah.
stop, like don't like buy the game you enjoy, watch the movie you enjoy, pay for the movie you enjoy, pay for the game you enjoy, and go from there. But when you're doing this whole woke thing, it becomes a battle cry for nothing. It feels like. I mean, not to get into it, it's
Yeah.
just that's what it feels to me.
Actually, I was just thinking we were talking about like the lists, and I got Virtua Fighter 5 Revo.
Mhm,
So it came out like a couple of days ago, and I'm having a little bit of fun with that.
mhm.
And I do play a bit of GTA, but out of the 250 games that I have on my list, I
Uh,
barely play any game other than GTA. I think I don't
yeah.
think I have like much time for anything else. What has everyone been playing at the moment? What have you been playing? Have you been playing anything interesting?
Um, the only recent thing I did play was, I mean, it's gonna be redundant, but it's like the Fortnite stuff because Godzilla is on Fortnite for a while.
Okay.
But I mean, like you were saying earlier, it's like sometimes you just don't have enough time, and you're kind of just stuck with something casual and can kind of go. I mean, I've lost I've lost more times than I've won in that game, but it's the only casual one I can do. Um,
I like
and,
Fortnite. I like Fortnite and Minecraft. So it's not that I play them like a lot,
mm,
but they're a good way for me to play with my nephew. So I have like a little nephew.
mm.
So I have like two nieces and a nephew, and
Oh wow,
he likes to play. He used to like to play Minecraft, and
yeah,
he moved to Fortnite. So
yeah,
every now and again, I play a little bit of Fortnite. So
yeah.
they don't live 5 minutes away from me anymore. So it's a good way to just keep in touch. And he likes to have uncle is playing with me, so it's kind of cool.
Well, and the thing
I'm
is
the
too is
cool
they
uncle.
yeah, well, that and they have Lego in Fortnite now, so you can do like a Lego world inside Fortnite, which is a weird thing to say.
As long
Play
as
TFD. I've never heard of it. Play T. What is TFD? I don't know. I've never
I
heard of
play
it. TFD a bit here and there.
TFT Team Fortress. No,
Team
uh,
Team for no. I don't know.
Frosh.
Maybe
I,
it.
it's gonna
Maybe.
type it in a second. I have no idea what TFT is like.
Oh
what? And we're waiting for TFT now.
yeah. I'll address
F-
this. Wouldn't call it a battle cry. It can be both. It's been both. I've seen it be both. My point is that it becomes I get what you're trying to say is like it's trying to make people
Oh, the
aware of
first descendant. Yeah,
that's the first okay, that makes sense. But I understand that it can be used to awaken the corporal stuff. My issue is that it gets pounded on enough times that the easiest answer for any of this is no money. Right? How
yeah.
do these companies survive? No, they need money, right? Like, look what happened with the
And it's okay. It's okay to just like sometimes just take the
take,
conversation somewhere else, and
yeah,
then just like
take a break.
take a break from it,
Mm,
because I sometimes like I just think enough people are already talking about it. They probably make like a much better points than I would ever make,
yeah,
because I'm not just that much into the
yeah.
knowledge. So
Neither am I, but I mean, it does get a bit tiring when you see one content creator to the next content creator, and their whole spiel is talking on the whatever they consider woke, DEI, and all this stuff. At the end of the day, you already have like 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 content creators talking on the same subject, and the only different thing you're getting is a personality thing. I mean, how many people just read someone else's um, article and there's not really much more than that. For me, that's why I do this open free thing because I can go anywhere and I'm not stuck to you reading an article. I mean, I can read articles, I have, but I'm not stuck to just on the subject. I can go anywhere, and I'd like that freedom more rather than here, done.
yeah,
I'd rather go everywhere than that. I just get churros at my fairs. Ooh, he's getting his
just wave,
churros,
just waving the flag.
and
I
then.
do like churros. They're kind of cool. Plenty of sugar.
Well, yeah,
Eh,
plenty I've seen different flavored ones like chocolate and all that other stuff.
Yeah, I'll take them.
Mm, my niece my niece randomly got my brother's account, and I thought it was him and said, "What do you want?" Probably talking about the Fortnite.
Man, oh man, kids can be like that.
Yeah, most of the outcomes are predictable. That's understandable. What's this one?
Beast
Give it
match. So do you have to approve like all the comments and stuff?
No, Rumble Studio, you just I know it's a little pedantic, but you can pin and stuff like that. There are ones I don't show, like because obviously I am streaming to YouTube, so there are like certain words, whatever. But majority of the time, I do try to show if I'm not busy with like of course, my guests because I
Okay.
do want to talk or whatever. But I do. It's mostly just words. I'm not gonna. Oh, hello. How are you doing, Colton? Nice to see you. How are you doing?
Nice seeing you, man.
But no, it's. I mean, there's no like filter or anything on my end. I do.
All right. No,
Yeah.
I was just wondering, like, if the comments were appearing, because, like, I'm just looking at the both chats, and then it looks
Yeah.
like a little bit weird. It's been a while. I used to stream on Twitch, and it was like a completely different thing. And this was
Yeah.
like few years ago. This was like the start of COVID, so I was just home. So I was just like, I'm gonna have to do something. So I
Yeah.
suppose everyone did something like that at the time. Just like, oh yeah, sure. I just start to turn on the camera, and then I stream for a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I know some people do that too. I mean, like for me, I'm bare bones at this. Like my camera was like less than $100, and I had this like little light thing here for like the shine some light in my face because I look it. This is what it looks like without that light. That's pretty
yeah.
dark. I need a little light in my life. And then I have like this Logitech mic, which was like maybe less than $200. But I mean, it's
It's one of the things that I keep saying. Like, it's just like it doesn't really matter like what the gear you have, like when you're streaming,
mhm,
and it's just if you have like a camera or no camera, if you have a good mic or no mic or just a headset, it's
yeah.
not what really it's important. It's content will always be paramount, and if
Uh,
someone is entertained watching your content, if someone is entertained watching you, so
mhm.
there's magic is. Uh, so if someone is entertained watching the content on the conversation, that's what really is important, and then
Yeah.
they would watch it regardless. I mean, sure, at some stage, if you like, if you sound like you're in a super echoey room with like a complete dog shit mic,
Yeah.
obviously you need to think about improving,
Yeah.
upgrading or something.
Yeah.
But content will always want to be king, and if people are entertained and engaged, like for example, like the chats, people are just like been typing in the chat and then just
Mhm,
participating, and then
mhm.
so I think this is what's really important. Who
Yeah.
cares? Like if the camera was like $100, this camera was like a third or fourth hand me down, and then the lights were just actually I got this lights because my boss was like, okay, I'm gonna give you some lights because the ones you have like are really bad, and I need to I'm going to give you I'm going to give you like a little present. So
Yeah.
just like,
Oh.
and I was just like, oh, thanks, man. So it was a little bit like that, and it was just like he looked at me and it was like, seriously. I was just like, yeah, these are good, these work. And he
Yeah.
goes like, so okay, so he came back and then he just gave me like otherwise I probably wouldn't have them. Same thing with like microphones and
Yeah.
everything. So a lot of this stuff, the previous computer that I had, like
Yeah.
I did fry it. So
Oh, no.
I,
What?
I I don't even know what happened. It's just like I think I fried the computer completely
Oh,
because
no.
I swapped the power supply and it
Uh,
wasn't that, and I swapped the CPU, it wasn't that. I swapped the graphic card and I was like, okay, all of this is really fried.
oh,
Otherwise, I wouldn't have upgraded. And I think the parts were from when I bought them in 2020. I'm sure if you guys remember, like this was the start of the COVID.
yeah.
Everything just shoot up in price. So I
Oh,
had to buy like super, super cheap stuff. So all the stuff was already 2 or 3 years old.
yeah.
And the graphic card was a hand me down or something. It was a 1070 Ti.
Yeah.
So everything was just like mega, mega, mega cheap. But yeah, Bishop did fried it. I did. I did. I just put some bacon around it. I put some bacon around.
Oh, man.
I was just like, I'm just gonna pull American here, and it's like I deep fried that stuff, and it was great.
If
It
if
was
you
not.
really want if you really want to talk about bacon, okay, so in the States, this was shown by a previous guest. Um, and they told me about this, but there's a restaurant in a state called Michigan, and I just gotta I hold on, let me show you 1 second. This is the palace of bacon right here. This is the palace of bacon right here. Got bacon, right?
Let's go.
It's like you see all this. That's their banana split right there. That's their
Damn.
banana split. Yeah. Oh, and so we can view their menu, right? We'll just view their menu. Oh, hold on. Let's
Give us
see.
some pictures.
Okay. Yeah, where are the picture? They did have Menu. Burger soup sides. Maybe they'll. So this, I believe, this right here is their BLT. This right here is their BLT.
Let's
Like,
go.
yeah, like that.
How much does that cost in freedom money?
Freedom money? I have no idea. I don't think they give a price. Okay, so here's their pork chop. One BA pork chop rule. Here, this is their thing with bacon. All right, this is their rules of bacon. Okay, let's go through that. Rule number 1: there must always be bacon in the fridge. Always.
Oh, I
Right?
don't have bacon in the fridge. I eat a lot of steak though.
I do too. I try to eat like cheap cuts. Rule number 2: there does not exist a food that does not go well with bacon.
I can't disagree with that. Like, what about gelatine
Yeah,
ice cream?
there you go. That's true.
You know,
Number
wait. I can think of more. Sardines?
possibly. Never tried that, but possibly.
Okay.
But number 3: there are 2 kinds of people in the world: those who like bacon and those who will be used as fodder in the case of a zombie apocalypse.
That's cool.
And rule number 4: even pigs like bacon. Fact, that's true. They'll eat just about anything. They'll eat.
I remember seeing like I think it was South Park where they were feeding bacon to a pork. I was just kind of like, oh, okay, or to a pig, not to a pork.
Yeah, a pig. Rule number 5: crispy and chewy are both acceptable ways to cook bacon. Thou shalt not discriminate.
World's problems can be solved by cooking. Oh, yeah. Okay. Bacon.
90% of the world's problems can be solved by cooking more bacon. That's number 6. Number 7: bacon presents exactly 0 health risks. Shut up.
Depends.
No, yeah. Number 8: if your computer is antiquated and slow, you can feed it bacon through one.
Okay, so I have like the old tower there. Maybe I'm gonna feed it some bacon. I have the old tower. I'm gonna get it and just feed it some
Just
bacon.
open its floppy disk thing and just kind of shove it in there.
What do you mean floppy disk? Like, dude, that was like back in 1863, the year of our Lord. Like,
Yeah.
does anyone uses floppy disks anymore? Does anyone uses CD-ROMs on the computer anymore? DVD. Actually, I think I saw that Sony was just scrapping like all the DVD, Blu-ray
Physical.
stuff,
Yeah, I did.
physical stuff. Like,
Yeah,
man, some
I've seen
people
that.
love that stuff. Some people like to collect DVDs. Actually, like Dad has like a lot of DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff. And well, not a lot. Like he likes the behind the scenes. You know, I don't think that man ever watched like a movie or a concert, but he
Yeah.
likes the second DVD, the second Blu-ray, which has like the extra scenes. And I actually like that as well. Like actually, this is one of the reasons why I got into Star Wars, because we were watching the extras. So we're watching like a DVD or something that had like how they come up with like all the you know, the oil paintings and the little things. So that's what got me into like battle mech and whatnot.
Nice.
Love that stuff. Oh man, like I would love that one in the first one, top left. I don't know what that is, but like
That's
I will have.
That's their
I'll
banana
have
float. That's their banana split.
banana
Sorry.
splits.
All right. And
Man.
this is their turkey club.
So roughly, how much would you pay for one of those? Like you go to what would you consider a fair price to pay for one of those if you go to a restaurant? It's like I go to America. How much freedom dollars do I pay and I not get like ripped off?
Well, first off, I mean, I don't know if they give prices for it. I didn't see any prices from their like menu or whatever. Because yeah, you don't see, well, I mean, they do show like add extra, that sort of thing, but there's not any price for it, so I wouldn't know. But if we were to talk about that sandwich there, like the grilled roast beef, I mean, I'd probably $8 or $10, depending on. I think that looks like good. And then this is their BLT right here.
Nice.
A pound of bacon. A pound of bacon right there. This is I don't know what this, it looks like, a breakfast with some bacon and hash
I think
browns.
that, yeah, I was going to say I think that there's some bacon in there.
Yeah, and then this is their burrito. 'Cause
Nice.
they do some Mexican food, I believe. There we go. So they do some Mexican food. Why does an Italian restaurant serve Mexican food? Because we're nacho usually.
Jeez, kind of place. I like the little puns in there.
Oh goodness. But yeah, look at they got carnitas, they got grande, look at all that stuff. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Dixie.
And it's funny because like the person who told me about it. I mean, this is again, this is in the state of Michigan, and their let's location and this is what their restaurant looks like outside. But yeah, it's unfathomable what they all
It's
that.
cool. Like I'm loving like everyone in the chat is just going like, yeah, absolutely. Leonard is like, holy shit, I want to go to this place. I
Yeah,
walk out a happy fat man. I'll walk in a fat man. Like
yeah.
I'll be rolling out.
Well, there's your location. If you ever want to look it up, there's your location to look it up right here. And of course, if you're in the United States, this is your best. But if you're outside the United States, this may not work for you. But
Nah, that doesn't
that
work for me. I'll visit Morica sometime.
there you go. Just remember the
It's
restaurant.
gonna
Just remember this time. Oh,
definitely. I'll ask you about it.
yeah, I've
Is it
never been there
BLT?
before. Yeah,
Hold the LT.
that'll that'll feed me for 3 days. Oh dear goodness, no. And there's so I gotta find. Okay, so someone told me about. I gotta go to Google. Gotta go. There we go. Okay, I got that. Ask me later. I've got to do the Oh, here we go. I am going to show that these are from the Google side of things that have photos and stuff. So here's school. So here's their. Here's one of their items. It looks
Waffles
like
stuff.
waffles with some looks like jam in there, homemade jam. Um, this is one of their.
Strawberry jam. That's the only jam that should exist. We can ship it to you, chorizo. You're too good to me. Just send it to me. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I'll make you more hungry than I am. Look, we're gonna get through a few more things, okay? So this is, I think this like mayo, and then it looks like bacon. This is their banana split right there. Look at that. Look how big the plate that is, right? Look how big that plate it is. Holy crap.
You bring
Um,
the rest home.
oh goodness. This is looks like
And the
egg, and then
omelette stuff.
omelet,
Yeah.
omelet. Yep, omelet. This looks like a Reuben.
Love it.
Low Reuben, and this is a side. This is a side right here. This is just bacon on the side.
I left bacon with some side of bacon.
Some bacon.
Oh, I love it.
Yep. This looks like another breakfast plate. This is another dessert plate. I don't know which one this is. They have a lot of desserts.
This is like chocolate and ice cream and stuff. Like
Brownie. Oh yeah. Uh-huh. This is their burrito. This is the burrito right there. And then
it's
you got
making me hungry. Well, I did like a lot of chicken wings before this.
this. I think this is like their own kind of poutine or something like that. Because you got cheese, you got gravy, you got the fries.
Dude, I was like, so I was in Whistler a couple of times. So for those who don't know, it's just this mountain bike, and they had like poutine, so it's just like chips, and then just put stuff on chips. And I didn't think it was anything special. I actually was like, Canadian food is actually deplorable. This is really bad. It
Yeah.
was really, really bad. So I don't know, like, Canada this, Canada that. It was like, your food is horrible, guys. It's not that good. Or
Yeah.
maybe it was just the place. I didn't think it was anything special, but I
Yeah.
could be wrong.
That's you know, it is what it is. This is a sign for Tony's restaurant. This not sure what this is.
It's fries, French fries.
Well, there's something over here too, so I'm not sure if that's something else.
I think that's ice cream.
I don't know about that. I don't think you want fries and ice cream. This looks like their what is it? So, like French toast. Looks like French toast with eggs. You got this here. That's another breakfast ordeal. You got this. Look at that. Look, that's the
Man,
club. Look at that. They put a knife in it in order to hold it up like that. You see
yeah,
that?
of course. I mean, that takes ages to even finish that,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
That is just like a sit down and it's a massive meal.
And
Oof.
that's what their inside of their restaurant looks like. Don't know if it's what it's now, but that's the photo we have. Of course, there's just this. Now this is the banana split breakfast. I think this is the Reuben again, or maybe a cornish meat. I can't remember what they call it. Scored something.
That's not too bad.
Yeah. Breakfast, burrito. I think this is again.
Okay, I have a question. I have
Yes.
a question
Yes.
for everyone. This is for everyone.
Mm.
It's like favorite takeaway food kind of thing, right? It's picture this, right?
Mm.
It's Friday.
Mm.
You finished work. You have nothing to do for the rest of the evening.
Uh-huh.
And you're just gonna sit down and you're just gonna enjoy some good series. I don't know, Community.
Mhm.
We were watching Community like earlier on.
Oh, nice.
Something, and you need like a good either takeaway or not takeaway. What's your go-to food? What's your go-to food? We're talking a lot about food. I like this.
For that
that's it.
sandwich with a knife, I feel like it's gonna explode as I bite into it. Oh no! Oh, hold on. Before I even answer that, there's a video that they did a while back. This was I
It
think
exploded.
No. So this
Okay.
I'm not gonna play the audio, but I'm gonna play. This was sort of a drive dine-in sort of thing that Guy Fieri. So he did come to the restaurant, right? So I'm not gonna play the sound because I don't want to, YouTube and stuff. But Guy Fieri visited the restaurant in Michigan. So this is him doing it, and so this is their BLT right there. That's their BLT right there, right? And I'm gonna showcase some stuff. But yeah, there's the restaurant. I-75 Birch Run. That's the inside of the restaurant. All those food. Look at that. You see that sandwich right there? That's their
Man.
BLT right there. You see how much bacon that is?
That's loads of bacon. I would love that. I would love that. I would go for something like that.
And these are the restaurant owners right here, at least when it was. And this is them making their BLT right here. And look at all those curly guys. Look at that. And they stick a
Man.
knife in there to hold it in.
Man, I would love one of those. I would say I would get something like that on the way home. Definitely. I do like kebab a whole lot. And then they're giving it to the kid, and it was just like the kid was like, I'm gonna eat all this.
I'm like, the kid doesn't need that much more than that. Look at that, it's crazy. And then you got this lady right here, and she's like trying to take a bite of the sandwich. Look how big that sandwich is. Look how big her mouth is. It's not that. It's too big.
So I'm thinking like the next time I go to America or something, like if I get like one of these, like it's gonna be like enough food for like a day and a half.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're not even to the best part yet. They show there's a guy who goes into the BLT, and we'll get to that. But this is their BLT right here, right? And she's gonna take a bite of that. They toast the bread. They do all this stuff. They kind of put their lettuce on there. They put the bacon on there. Look at that. You see, it's a full tong full of bacon.
I would love that. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Shoot the knife. There you go.
Yep. Oh, here's the guy. Look at this. You see that? You see that?
That's enough food for like 2 days, actually. That's plenty of food. Actually, I cooked some beef for during the Christmas time, and I think that I had some leftovers from like the big portion of beef, and then I made a picture. I can just show you guys later. Like I don't think I have it here, but it was just like a good 20 ounce of beef, and I was just like, I'm just gonna have all this. So it was great. So I can relate to this.
Yeah,
I can relate to this.
And look at him. He's trying to bite into it. Look at that. He can't get his whole mouth on it. Look at that. Oh my goodness. It is insane how much food they do. And yeah, and of course the person I had on was just telling me about this. I'd never heard it before. Because I live in the next state over from this, but I mean it's just insane. Oops, sorry. But yeah, I'll if you guys want to check more about it, I will put the link on both ends. So let me get that link up. So there you go. The link is in the chat on both ends, so you can check it out for yourself. But I mean, when they told me about that, when she told me about it, it was a she. I was stunned. It was like a pound of bacon in that sandwich. A pound of bacon.
That's loads of bacon. I would love that. I would love that. Like a Friday. Oh man. For the weekend, it will be enough food for like 2 days. Definitely.
It will be, and then you have a whole smorgasbord of different types of food, and it's just incredible that you can. There's a place like that exists, and I'm like, I've never been there before, and I'm just looking at this, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm hungry now. I can't do this. Oh my
Lovely
goodness.
to see Bishop.
Hey,
I'm
there
just
you
throwing
go.
the ensign. Like, how are you doing, Yarn? Which
Yeah. Oh yeah, Rich. Hey. But yeah, it's hilarious. And her name and the content creator who's on was Corn Panther. She was letting me know about it's where if you go to the link in the chat, it's right there. The link is in the chat on either end. You go to the link, it will show you where the location and stuff is for it. So just go to that link and you'll see it. You'll see it.
and then Bleep is like,
I can't figure out why America's so fat.
go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure. But this is it also depends. I don't know, maybe it doesn't, because my argument was going to be the heat. So
Mm.
for example, in Portugal there's like a time of the year where it's just like so hot. I
Yeah.
remember it's like even in June or something, like you wake up in the morning and
Mm.
it's 7 or 8 in the morning, it's already 20 something degrees. And then
Yeah.
where my parents live, like a little bit well, they live close enough to the coast,
Uh-huh.
but during the day it goes up to 40, 42, and you cannot eat, like you wouldn't be able to eat like that much bacon,
Yeah.
it's just like you would drag for the rest of the day. So
Mhm.
I know that like every time I go around that time of the year, like it's so hard for me to actually eat. So I'm just like drinking all the time. I'm always thirsty because I'm, just
Sweating it
constantly
out.
sweating a
Yeah.
whole lot. So my argument was going to be that one, but I don't know what part of America there is, and I wonder if it's actually warm up there or
It's in Michigan, and Michigan's very during the winter it's cold, but I think during the summer it's a little less humid because it's so close to the northern part.
yeah,
Um, but I mean it's not as hot as like say the South America because it gets
yeah,
very hot, very humid, and sometimes you don't get rest from that at all. It's just hot and humid. So there are times. I mean, there's a in America, they're like down south, like Louisiana stuff. They do have very humid, hot areas, but I mean, this winter. It's been like it's gotten so cold. It's gotten all the way down to Texas, and so where they've had to wear coats. So it's been sort of the thing where this winter has
you
reached
have to
down
wear
there.
coats. I was
Yeah,
like,
and
that's how cold it was.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're usually like in the 60s or 70s during this time of the year, where during the summer they're like in the 90s or 100
Mhm.
Fahrenheit. This is we're still
Yeah.
imperial. You're Celsius, so there's that.
Yeah, I think it was 30 somethings. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm eating a pound of bacon there. Well, not eating a pound of bacon. Well, you don't have to eat a pound of bacon. They have other stuff on the menu. I just thought that was pretty interesting to see them put a pound of bacon. Like most people would say, it's like a dinner for two
Yeah,
days.
but I think it's just like the argument is that when it gets a bit colder, you kind of tend to eat like a little bit more just to try to warm up yourself or
Yeah.
something. So I'm not sure if that makes any sense.
No, but
I noticed that I here I eat like a lot more. I try not to, but
yeah. Yeah, no, same with me doing when I'm trying to not do too much. Vanilla Ice cooks MCs like a pound of bacon.
man, I don't listen to Vanilla Ice in ages. There's a lot of bands that I used to listen, and it's just like I completely forgot. And
Yeah.
then it's only when they come when they pop in again after in the shuffle that I
Mm.
go like, oh yeah, I haven't listened to this in ages. And I was like, well, I didn't even know I had this and then I feel like a little bit embarrassed with some of the stuff that I would have there. But hey, music is music, I suppose.
Yeah, well, yeah, and like you were talking earlier, like if you're having fun with it, that should be the point, right? Is to have fun
Exactly.
with music. Because sometimes people are like going for the limelight or something like that, and they forget that music is more about having fun with or whatever. And Little Miss Anonymous,
Just
I
like,
didn't eat more during winter too, and I have no self control. Hey, I hear you, sister.
yeah,
It is hard, but man, when those people after the new year, they're like, man, I'm gonna lose weight and all this stuff. Yeah, you might want to just start with portion control first. Maybe that will help.
Uh, I mean, I don't know. I never did that. I just go like, I'm just gonna continue like the way I was doing, and it's gonna be all right. It's just like run a little bit, a few extra miles.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fine.
So what? I mean, you are pretty well fit looking. So what do you do for yourself to
Yeesh.
kind of keep? Well, it's still. I mean, if you were to look at people in America, you'd probably be a lot more better than they are to some degree. But I mean, what do you do for
Uh,
yourself?
it's not even like that much. One of the things that I think it makes a huge difference is in what you drink. So
Yeah,
we call it fizzy drinks around here. I'm not sure. Like it's just like the Coke and
yeah.
the Sprite, so bubbly kind of stuff. So I avoid those. So
Okay.
that's a bit on the sugar there.
Yeah.
And for exercise, I don't even do that much. I do about 3 or 4 days a week. I go to the gym and then I run 4K.
Oh
So
wow.
that jog 4K. So I'm not really just
Yeah.
so running on a treadmill. It's my meditation time. Do you know? Everyone does a repetitive task
Yeah.
where they concentrate, right?
Yeah.
Does this
Yeah.
make sense?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for me, it's the treadmill. If I can go on a treadmill and then I start jogging and I start thinking about things and I get mad and I get angry and I have arguments in my head.
Mm,
And then by the time I finish, I'll be like, okay. So it takes me like actually a long time. It takes me about 35 minutes to complete it because
uh,
I'm slow paced and I'm just like having those arguments
mm,
in my head. Then
yeah.
after that, I do just a little bit of core, so it's just like like a few abs or something in the ground,
Yeah.
and I don't even lift heavy.
Really.
So
Okay.
no, it's like the maximum I would lift. It's 50 kgs. So how much is that in pounds? About 100 pounds, maybe
Oh, it's not too bad.
89, 95 pounds or something like that. So
Yeah.
it's not even that much, and it's just like for a few reps, just so I can, just I don't feel like it's because of apple pie, right? Right.
Yeah.
It's I'm not gonna lie.
You did.
It's just because I love apple pie. I love kebab, and
Mm,
I know that if I wouldn't do anything, kebab would take over me and apple pie. So that's
yeah.
the only reason I go in and do because the moment I keep saying like the moment Jesus Christ comes down and said like, "Hey brother, you don't have to do this anymore," I would be like,
Mm,
"Sound." I would
yeah.
never set foot on the. That's awesome.
Yeah. Look.
Thank you, Yarn. I would never set foot on a gym again. I don't care. I'll be like toodles, and then I'll be going to the kebab shop. I'll be
Right.
drench it with garlic sauce. You drench it.
There you go.
Bishop is not gonna taste good. I was like, I be drench it. Did I
Yeah.
stutter? Drench it. Garlic sauce. Oh,
There
like
you
let's
go.
go.
Well, and the funny thing too is I've seen a lot of people do like that carnivore diet stuff where they just eat like high proteins, like either eggs or steak or whatever, and for some odd reason they do lose weight to a degree. But I mean, I don't know how well it works for everyone. But I've tried to do like more cheaper cuts because in U.S., you can go to like a butcher shop or whatever.
Yeah.
But stores like a Kroger or I don't know what kind of stores they have over there, but there's usually a place where you can get cuts. Some cuts are way too much, like 20 or 30 bucks over, and then you get like cheaper cuts that are like under 10 bucks, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I got to work within my budget.
Yeah, it's like so. I mean, I did nutrition like ages ago. I don't even think that it applies, but there's always going to be like all those diets, and then uh, you have like the two very big opposites who are using kebabs as dumbbells. Like that's what I do. Like I was just like, Abib, I'm just gonna live this. I was like, absolutely. Abib is like, hey, where'd you come? Did you come in from the gym? And I was just like, yes, this is my protein. This is not protein. I was a bit drenched it with garlic sauce.
Oh
So
goodness.
there's like so I'm on a sort of carnivore diet. So
Yeah.
it's just like it's mostly red meat, but that's because uh my body doesn't agree too much with bread and
Yeah.
vegetables,
Okay.
and eventually you need to get out of those diets, and then
Yeah.
you need to start coming into something like a little bit more balanced because you're just going to lack something or you're just going to
Yeah.
crave something, so you can't really just stick on those diets for too long. One thing that I would say is just that being on a carnivore diet, it gets me like a little bit sharper.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like most of the times, but I do get like a little bit sharper when I need to think about work things, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it works much better than, for example, vegetables. And then the vegetarian diet, I don't like it because of the vegan tax and whatnot. So obviously that's something that I wouldn't go to. But
Yeah.
yeah, I much prefer like the carnivore diet. And everyone loves steak, everyone loves
Yeah.
bacon.
Okay. Yes.
So
Eggs, yeah, definitely. I don't do it fully because I still have an issue of eating out or whatnot or whatever. But I am trying to get on it more. I mean, again, going for cheap cuts, going for eggs, which are still cheaper on our end. I don't know
and
what it costs.
cheese.
And well, I don't do I do cheese, but not as much because that's something you don't want to overdo, like chocolate, right? You don't want to overdo too
Uh,
much excess. Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. Like if you're going on a carnivore diet, you kind of need you need a replacement for the fat, right? No, for the carbs, you need the replacement for the energy.
Yeah.
So you need to balance it with cheese. So that's the cheese and the eggs for the.
Oh yeah.
So
I would get
you can't just go on just protein. I mean, you can for a while, but you get to a point where you just like you need to start
yeah,
introducing the rest of the stuff.
yeah. I got I would get like what was it, like a provolone or something. I do like I've had my favorite cheeses are sort of like gorgonzola. I like
Mm.
that. And then blue cheese, which is a surprise because blue cheese is a little salty, a little too much of it. It's a bit salty, but I do enjoy it. So, but yeah, it's just one of those things. In the South, we go to cow tipping, but Bishop looks like he goes dump truck tipping.
We go cow tipping. Escapes me because I have no idea what dump truck tipping is.
Well, you know what cow tipping is, right?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so what happens is cow tipping is basically pushing over a cow on its side. So you have a cow standing up straight, and then they kind of
Yeah.
push it over its side, so it just tips over and falls.
Okay.
So he's saying you can tip over a dump truck,
A
basically.
dump truck. I'm
Yeah.
not sure. Like I actually, it's
Or a garbage truck. Do you think if
a
whatever
garbage
your
truck.
garbage,
Yeah.
whatever your
I
garbage,
I think I get.
yeah.
So I appreciate. I think that's a compliment, right?
Yes, it is a compliment. Yes.
But it's people think it's just like it's not just genetics or anything. It's not that hard. It's just like what I do is it's less than an hour because I usually equate it for an hour and then I'm accounting with shower and stuff. So driving to the gym is only like 5 minutes for me, but it's just like in between driving and then running the 35 minutes and then doing about 6 minutes of cardio and then about another 7 or 8 minutes of lifting weights.
Yeah.
Gotta keep it move. It's not that much. It's about 3 or 4 times a week. So sometimes it's just like 3 days a week. And it's just like that just little bit of moving, just standing up and just not pushing with the sugars. It's enough. And in my opinion, I think anyone can do it, but it's just
Yeah.
sometimes it's so hard when it's just so much easier to just make a sandwich or something. So remember when you go never skip leg day. Never skip leg day.
That's just too funny. That's just too funny. He got it. Look at him, guys. He's going. He's got the strength. Look at him.
Never skip leg day. Ever, ever, ever.
Oh my goodness. But no, you're not wrong because the most basic thing people can do is go outside for a walk if they can. I mean, you could do 30 minutes of walking and you're
Yeah.
doing more than what most people would think of doing. Like I've been trying to enter in planks, right? You know how planks are. And
Yeah.
you just do 2 minutes of it, your stomach feels like it hurts like heck.
And I do 1 minute and I'm just like
It hurts, Lord, it hurts.
I need to keep up for this.
Lord, send me the sweets. Send me the sweets.
And then I go to the shop and I ask for a mocha, and
Oh,
I show up like still in gym gear, and I only do it like once a week, but
yeah.
I show up in gym gear and I go like, can I get a large mocha with everything? And then the girl looks at me. I was like, yes, everything, cream, chocolate on top, extra marshmallows and everything. And I was like, I earned it.
Yeah.
I read it to you. And then she was like, okay, okay. I was
Yeah.
just like, I seriously, I earned it. I swear I earned it. So
Oh, yeah.
I do that all the time.
Anonymous says, I just don't eat as much and dance every day. Well, that's true. I remember when Zumba was a big thing back in the
Dancing,
day.
yeah,
Zumba,
dancing is kind of cool.
yeah. Yeah. You might get Rickrolled destroying this record. Hey, you know what? We all get Rickrolled once in a while. Goodness sake. Even though I get the looks. I don't know what are you talking like those looks or those looks? I'm not sure what you're talking. Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that. What I need to be hold on, I'm gonna bring it up. I need to be a carnivore diet, except the bearded lady, that's gross. Kinda like a carnival, like a carny. She's
Carney diet.
a carny diet. That's hilarious. But yeah, I mean, again, there are simple things people could do. And again, I only do like maybe I'm trying to, right? I'm trying to do like 2 minutes a day of planking. And you would be surprised of how
Even
2 minutes.
stretching.
Yeah, it's even just small amount of stretching would do something. It's the small things people don't think as much because they think about the bigger scale, right? Like I have to do like 10 sets of 100, like you were doing with the
Yeah.
100 pounds or whatever and all that stuff. And I've done some like strength training stuff too. It's just it you want to be in a position where you want to keep doing this without thinking about it, right? Like you
Yeah.
want to be able to do it without
And
thinking about it.
and even the weight that I'm lifting is like it's not even that much. So much that like people are looking at me. I was like, oh, it's active recovery day. I'm just like, I'm not lifting too much today. I lift more the other day.
People
It's
are like,
not.
well, what, bro? Why aren't you lifting more? It's like, bro, I'm
It's,
I'm just trying to lift, man. I'm just trying
yeah,
to
it's
lift.
just yeah, because like you can have like active recovery days.
Yeah,
So what it does is you have, let's say you work 3 times a week,
yeah,
and you have like DOMS, which is like the delay onset muscle soreness. So just to try to delay that, you do an
yeah,
active recovery day where you just go in and then just like move the muscles, but you don't push as much weight,
yeah,
and so you're just like trying to delay that just so you can just recover and then go back and then like in a couple
yeah,
of days without having like the sore muscles.
yeah,
uh it's someone listened to this that goes to the gym and goes like, bro, that's too much simplified, and I know that there's more to it, but just in very layman terms.
yeah,
But yeah, I never push like too much because
yeah,
I don't want to be like too sore, and there's no point really. Like I'm not
yeah,
trying to make like magazine or anything. One thing that I do is I work a lot on the extensors, which is like these muscles here,
yeah,
because I learned that this helps a lot with bass, and it did make a difference for the bass. So I was just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit more of this. So
yeah,
that's the only thing that I actually focus. Other than that, just normal maintenance stuff, like
yeah,
shed a little bit the apple pie, and then we're
yeah.
back.
I do what? I do half a pie every day. Every day, do half an apple pie. My DOMS is 2 days after working out, but lasts for 5 days. Well, and the funny thing was, is so when I went to the gym, I don't anymore, but when I used to go to the gym, I would work out for a day and then I would take the next day off because there again, you were talking about, having the like
Yeah,
your
because you
muscles and
need
stuff.
to
Yeah.
recover. Yeah,
Yeah, you need to recover. And I wasn't really working hard. I mean, like when I was doing the bench press, I would probably get up to like 110 total, but you got to be real careful the more higher you go up because you have to remember you have all this weight you're pushing up, and there's a point where if you're not going like the muscular stuff like Arnold Schwarzenegger, whatever, you got to be real careful because some people go up to like 400 and something pounds to lift. And I'm like, no.
I mean, some people are just like they compete and whatnot. So it makes sense that they're like just working their body. And some people say that they like gym. I don't think they do. I don't think anyone likes the gym. I think people just have to go to the gym. It's just something like, okay,
Right.
fine, we'll go. But yeah, some people maybe just like really, really enjoy it, and then
I I
So
I would just think of it this way: is I'd rather have just an extension of life. I'd rather instead of just like working out to try to whatever, I'd rather just extend for life because that's the more important factor rather than just I'm going because New Year's Eve, New Year's resolution sort of thing and all that.
yeah.
And you see those people fall off, and
Yeah,
it's
this is what I keep saying. Like running 5K adds about 30 minutes of life to you, but then
yeah.
it takes 30 minutes to complete. So it's kind of like,
Yeah, it gives as much as it takes, that's for sure. But yeah, that's hilarious. But anyway, it is the top of the hour again, and of course we're gonna end it here because my guest has to get going to bed soon, and also I have to get setting up for tomorrow as well. But of course we're gonna do a few things now. First, we're gonna do the promotion stuff, so we can do that, and then I'll go through a few other things. So if you wanna take your lead, that's up to you. So the floor is yours.
all right. So, first of all, I just want to thank everyone in the chat for coming in and then just like having like a little bit of conversation. It was good to see you all like just typing in and interacting. Super good. Super. I was saying to Dara, I listened to this uh, after. So on the next day, so I never get to catch this live because by this
Mhm.
time, this is midnight for me.
Yeah.
I'll be fast asleep. Sometimes if I can go to sleep at like 7 or 8 in the evening, I go just so I can wake up super early.
Uh,
But it's good to see like everyone interacting in the chat. So good to
mhm.
meet you all. Thanks very much for stopping by, and hope you guys enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Uh, if you guys want to check like some of the base covers or whatever, feel free to leave me a comment if you enjoy them. I appreciate that, but just don't feel like you have to or anything. Like it's okay. I just only do this for fun, and if you ever like just want to drop a line or just chat, like DMs are always open. Dara, thank you so much for inviting me. This was like a great fun. We'll stay in touch. Like
Yeah,
I know that I've been like super busy, and I'm gonna
yeah,
get a little bit more busy with work, but
yeah.
DMs, it's easier to catch me on Discord.
Discord. Yeah, we'll keep that in
Yeah,
mind. I'll keep
keep
that
that
in
in
mind.
mind.
Yeah.
Uh, so thanks very much for having me.
Oh,
This is
thank you.
great.
Yeah, no, and thank you again for taking up the opportunity because again, this is as much as an opportunity for me as it is for you because yes, we met through Leon's show, The Countercast.
Yeah.
Well, to get to be on and do this thing where it can be pretty unpredictable, but you can have fun along the way with it. Like, I mean, at this point, you're probably hungry before going to bed, so you're just like, "Dang it! Can't believe it made me so hungry." From hunger to working out. Look at
It's
that.
okay.
See, that's
I'll munch something before I go.
but no, I appreciate it, and of course the door is always open for another time because I've had people come on multiple times, Jack Tarlett, Tomby, so many other people. But anyway, to get into my promotional end, whether you're on the YouTube side, whether you're on the Rumble side, if you wouldn't mind leaving a like, sharing the content, leaving a comment or follow, anything that helps with the engagement factor is much appreciated because again, not only does it help in being seen more, like all content creators want to do, it also helps in having other people on as guests. I gotta do that way, right? I gotta do the camera. I gotta do my left to right, like Bishop, like Malay K, like at the real Tomby, like all these people here. Again, it's not just content creators. I've had people on who aren't content creators. I've had people on who haven't showed their face. I've had VTubers on, right? I've had VTubers on. The point of the matter is this show is a free flowing conversational show where we can go anywhere and have fun with it and maybe you learn something that you never knew before. I've had people on before that I didn't know were in the military. And so it's been this weird fun thing to do or silly skill or just all this different stuff. So any help with the engagement on either end is much appreciated because again it helps not only be seen more, but it helps in the other stuff too. So thank you for that. And also I have a link down below down in the description on either Rumble YouTube. You can find it there. If you'd like to take up the opportunity coming on, like Bishop Pierre, the wonderful Bishop, uh, uh, Hail Mary and all that stuff. But he's gonna throw me through confessional later. But anyway. But anyway, if you want to take up the opportunity, you can either leave a comment on either Rumble YouTube or go to the link down below and you can find me in my spaces because I've already had one person do it. I've had one person go through my links to find me to come on. So I've had that, but the door is open and all that stuff. So February is almost full. So if you want a ticket on that, well, better get to me quick. But anyway, guys, thank you all so that for very much. And of course, tomorrow is a solo stream. just gonna be me and whoever comes in the chat, and it's just talk about whatever like we've done before, except it's with me. And you're mine. No. But anyway, slap slap that bass. Slap that bass. I gotta tell you to work out after looking at all those calories. Well, at least you didn't eat all those calories. That's the thing right there. But there's something I do with my guests at the end of the show, and it's called questions from a hat. So I bought a hat from Rumble, and I have questions in them. So what happens is, my guest gets 2 freebie questions. Now, obviously, I'm not monetized on YouTube, so sorry, guys. But if you're on the Rumble side, you can give a Rumble rant, and that you doesn't matter the amount, but any rant that goes towards this, you can pull out another question beyond the 2 freebies that he gets. So, Bishop, I'm going to start with question number 1.
All right.
Let me get in there.
I'm
My eyes
ready.
are closed. My eyes are closed. I'm just feeling around like they do with like that
Oh,
spaghetti.
don't phrasing.
You've watched Archer a little too much, I see. I'm feeling around in the dark. It doesn't feel pretty. All right, here's the first one.
Okay.
Let's see what it says. The question is, what's a childhood memory that still makes you smile?
Childhood memory that still makes me smile. I would say, BMX. So where I grew up, it was pretty much flat, and one of the things that I really enjoyed getting was the BMX. So I was never like the kid like too tied to the computers, to the console and everything, because we just had like a good, the weather wasn't too bad for like 10 months of the year. So I used to love BMX. I still have like my Dave Mirra bike. And whenever I go back to Portugal, I'm going to need to make some pictures and then just show everyone. And yeah, so I would say the BMX, great times with the BMX, not even as much with rollerblades. BMX, definitely.
Nice. Yeah. I think weren't some of those BMXs like they had that little thing in the back where people could stand on, like the
Yes.
tire end?
So mine was for a mini ramp. So
Yeah.
he didn't have brakes. So it was one of those where then he had like a gyro, but I didn't use any brakes or anything on the bike. I absolutely love that.
Oh goodness, yeah, because I would see back in the day like kids be on bikes and they have their friend in the back standing on those little poles. On the back
It's
tire.
called the pegs. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I do, and then I was like the 4-peg kind of this like the but depending on your style or on your if you were like left foot forward or right foot forward,
Yeah.
you would rotate the bike in a certain way. But because both my parents are ambidextrous, I'm
wow.
sort of kind of ambidextrous, so I'm not like I cannot write with my left hand, but I don't even know where we're going this, but like I
Yeah.
mix my coffee with my left hand counterclockwise. It's just weird stuff. So
Yeah.
I just had like pegs on both wheels, so it was kind of like on both sides because I could spin the bike either way. Okay, let's move on to the next question.
Well, and just for my own things, like people would find it funny is like when you wear a watch, right? You usually wear a watch on the opposite hand. That's
So
not dominant.
I'm using mine on my right hand.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the right hand.
I would wear my watch on my right hand because my right hand is the dominant one, and people would find that weird because usually you'd have a watch in the opposite hand of what your dominant hand was. But I'd be like, well, it's right there. Why would I go to another hand to look at the clock? It's like my hand's right there. Why would I?
I don't know. I think it's because like I do the. It's like which way do you deal cards, with your right hand or with your left hand? Because I deal with my left hand.
I would deal with my right hand. Yeah.
I deal with the left hand. I do it like this. So it's just weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things. Okay, here's the last one since there's no Rumble rant. What is your least favorite word to say?
The least favorite word to say. I think you know what that one is. I just think it's like it's not something that I want to say all the time. I'm not saying that I don't say it. I'm not saying that it doesn't come out, but I'm the kind of person that I don't like to curse that much. I avoid cursing.
Right.
I think that if you cannot string a sentence without cursing every 2 or every second or third word, I think is just,
Yeah.
I cannot explain it. I was not expecting the question. That's actually a good question. I was actually not expecting questions at all. So to have to think about it. So what I'm doing now is just like buying a little bit of time. But I think like my least favorite words to say are probably like curse or swear words, because
Yeah.
I just avoid cursing and then swearing. I just don't think it's productive. I think it's very weak-minded to just speak in cursing or
Right.
swearing.
Well, I mean, and there's a point where it gets
Is that a
overused. No, yeah, I think
Yeah.
I think it gets to the point where it gets overused, right? Like you hear people curse all the time, and for me, I mean, I'm not against people cursing at all. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to limit people
If
on their
people,
cursing.
yeah, if people want to speak like that, that's okay. It's just I don't. I This was personal, right? This is like my what I think,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you said
just
that.
personally, I just try not to do it myself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and for me, I mean, I've slipped up a few times, but
Oh, we do it. We all
but
do.
yeah, but for me, it's sort of like you have a whole dictionary of words, right? You can have fun with it, and you don't need curse words to do it. Like you could pull out in the English dictionary, right? I don't know what is for Portugal or whatever, but there are those idioms, there are those words where you can be cryptic about it or whatever. There are so many words we have. It's like, why would you use the most basic ones? You could use nincompoop in the English language, and I'm like, what the hell does that mean? It's like, that's what you are. And it'd be like, what does that mean though? And you just walk
Well,
away.
I think sometimes like what happens is we're just trying to make sure that our whatever we say comes across to even people that are not native speakers or like fluent speakers or that would understand. So we just try to break it down to the most basic things. But I just
Yeah.
think that when you need to resort to swear, cursing
Yeah.
in between words in the rest of your sentence, just to give you like a little bit of time to think about it, it's just like a little bit tricky.
No,
Hey,
no,
we just swapped there.
no,
All right.
it's fine. It just flipped a bit. No, but that's understandable because at the end, I'm not against cursing. It's just a form of we've already seen enough people do it. That I mean, let's try something else. Let's try something else. But I'm not gonna hold people back from cursing. Just
True.
about things. Anyway, guys, that is the end of the show. Of course, again, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern will be the solo show, so I hope to see you there. And of course, thank you again, Bishop. You are one awesome dude. And
Thanks very much for having me.
you're welcome. And you're always welcome to come back. There are many more. There's a show I do called Dara's Hangout Den where I bring people together that have been on the show before as guests, and it's only just guests, previous guests. So there's that. But I mean, you're always welcome to come back for another one-on-one. So I mean, you're just one cool dude, and I'm glad I got to meet you and so many others through Leon and his stuff. So. No problems there. But again, guys, tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern is a solo stream. Hope to see you all there. And of course, as always, and this is another Pogo one that I'll play out with. This is called One Day With You by Pogo. Hope to see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your night. See y'all then, guys. Bye.